Okay, welcome to episode 17. Okay, I already did it.
All right.
Okay, all right. Please remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. We'd like some comments. We learned the last show that we got our first hater out there. Que pasa? Okay, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia, themostmen.com is the website. Info at themostmen.com is the email. Coming soon to Rumble. We are building our man kits right now. Get your man card. Okay. We got all sorts of cool shit coming in the man kit. So the man kit is you get your man card, get your balls back. 12-step program on how to maintain, retain, and all sorts of cool swag. It's all meant to have fun. And ladies, we're not out there to piss you off. It's just out there. We're out there to have fun. So we love you too. Okay. So back.
Yes.
So we do one. So if you see me in the same shirt, see Timmy in the same shirt again. Oh, we got a wise comment out there from somebody that said, "Who in the fuck is this guy?" Well, this guy, my name is Mark Mahoney, and I'm the owner of Most Man. So now y'all know. I'll tell you my life story one other day, just not today. We're just here to have fun.
Yeah, he's always introduced me as, "Hey, I'm over here with Timmy," and somebody piped up and goes, "Well, he never introduces himself." Wait for the hate mail to come in now. Yeah, we're wondering who that guy was.
Oh, fuck that guy. We're fucked. You know.
Look at the head on that one.
Yeah, could you find somebody better looking than that fucking guy, please? You know.
But the man card, it's kind of like people talk about, "Oh, I graduated from the school of hard knocks. Well, I got my man card." Do you really got your man card? Because, do they look like that? I mean, these are like sanctioned, the official man card of most men.
Well, these might be the collector's items of the man card. There's only been 100 made of these.
Okay,
and these are official because when I sold the man kits doing the pilot program, I didn't do those. I told them once we get opened, I will reissue. And they can pick their number. Not pick their number, but anything over 500 because I wanted to save 100 to 500 the Fortune 500 Club.
The VIP tent.
The VIP tent. You start falling off around 300, but
the 007, the coveted 007
that's
card.
fucking Zach. Shout out Zach, Creative Reach Media. We love you, Zach. Yeah, he's a good dude. Love Zach. Talk for a second. I want to make sure we got our shit together over here because we've already started drinking a little bit.
Well, yeah, we've always talked about, we do two of these. Well, the first one, we do beerless, and the second one, we do beerful. So that's why when you see us with the same shirt on, now I have changed my shirt once in a while, in the past, just to, because I had shit to say, a band or, a race car driver or, something, but hell, my wardrobe ain't all that big. I mean, I'm starting to run out of clothes because I don't buy a lot of clothes. But I got a million T-shirts, man. I always say, I'm never buying another T-shirt. I've got 500 freaking T-shirts from over the years.
Dude, I've got 5 favorite pieces of underwear. I've got 3 or 4 pairs of shorts that are my favorite. I've got 2 pair of pants that are my favorite. And then I've got, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 T-shirts that are my favorite.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Fuck all that.
Hell, these pants I got on now, I just had 2 dimes from the beer store and my change come winging out the bottom of my leg because my pocket's roached out and got a hole in it, which... Now that's a potsy move. I need some duct tape or something down, turn your pants inside out, put a little duct tape on there. They're good for another 10 years.
No, I got a sewing kit in there for you.
Nah, that ain't, that's
stapler.
I did that. You wind up bleeding. I found out the hard way. Don't do that. I stapled my golf bag together one time, the pocket in there, and man, I was grabbing for something. Man, I had a rusty old staple buried in my finger. I'm like, I'm done.
It's fucking
I'm
easy.
done with the staples.
It's easy to sew. Come on. I'm a man over here, but let me tell you something. I can crochet.
All right.
Yeah.
I was a younger man. I could actually put the thread through the needle. My mother would say, hey, can you put this through there?
I couldn't knit, but my grandma, Mimi Jackie, shout out Mimi Jackie. She was fucking cool as hell. This woman was cool as hell, and she was a crocheting machine, dude.
My mother used to knit pearl. There's 2 stitches. I think it's pearl and knurl or needle or pearl and something. I know a little. There's nothing I don't know something about.
Yeah, no, but I'm telling you, dude, crocheting is fucking addictive. Or knitting. I never learned how to knit, but dude, my grandmother, this woman, her hands would be like, dude. I still have her blanket that she crocheted me. She crocheted every one of her grandchildren a blanket.
She was so fast they had to like slow down the tape, so like how this is made, where you see her hands were so fast, you had to slow down the tape to see how she.
No, here's the thing though. Here's the new one. The new one is how ridiculous. It's the 44 Club. It's 3 guys out of Australia.
Yeah.
These guys are fucking hilarious. You need to check them out. Right. Shout out, how ridiculous, 44 Club. I am addicted to their shit. They are the what did you say? That's the old one.
Knitting, crocheting.
No. The show that they do the
how it's made.
How it's made. No, not how it's made. What's the one where those 2 guys, one had a big raunchy ass fucking beard or mustache. It was a god dang it. What's the name of that shit?
I mean, were they building shit?
No, they would test the extremes of shit, like shooting a fucking bullet into a silicone head or oh, good God. It was on the Discovery Channel.
Oh, I know what you mean. Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the modern day Mythbusters.
All right.
And they're fucking good. They are fucking good. They hold lots of world records. Like they'll go to some mountain in the middle of fucking nowhere and heave basketballs for days over this mountain, getting the tallest basket. Like they spent, I think it was like 4 or 5 days in some country over there. They ended up getting the world record.
When I was a kid, I had the old Guinness Book of World Records, man, and I'd read the thing, man. I was just fascinated by all this crazy shit. Well, then, that's 50 some years ago, and I'm kind of disappointed as time's gone on, because then it's just turned into a record for the sake of a record. Like back then, there was like certain records, the tallest guy or the longest bridge or the biggest
fingernail.
Yeah, biggest beehive, longest hair, oldest guy. Now, it's like who can juggle the most yo-yos while they're, walking on a bed of coals. And, it's just gotten, I need to come up with a world record. That's my goal before I die, come up with a world record. But of course, it'll be something so stupid nobody else
Let's do a most man world record.
We need some most man world records.
We need a most man world record. That is a task. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, the challenge has been set. Heck, we might set one tonight without even knowing it, but something. The first most man to get hit with a meteorite or something. Never say never. Like when you go to a baseball game, anything can happen. The Rangers game 2 nights ago, some run-of-the-mill Ranger strikes out 9 dudes in a row, ties the American League record. Who the hell, what kind of pitcher strikes out 9 people in a row? So you just go to some spare, stupid baseball game, and you see a record that, the American League's been around 125 years, and you see something that's only been done once before. Pretty impressive. Never say never. And don't bet against anything you don't know for a fact. And even if you know it for a fact, be prepared to lose, because it's amazing how many facts you think you know that you don't know.
Okay, well, I got something for you.
That's what we're here for.
Coming soon to a camera near you. This is Tim Marin. I'm Mark Mahoney. Coming soon is Timmy Time, featuring Tim Marin.
Looky there.
Okay? So we need a Timmy Time world record.
I floated out the Timmy Time, and he said...
Well, I came up with Timmy Time.
Well, he came up with the concept of me doing something, and I think the Timmy Time got mentioned, and you're like, that's what it's got to be.
Because I either came up with it or you did. One of the two.
But I want to talk about obscure, crazy, just,
let your fucking hair on fire go.
Yeah, I want to kind of be like a Bill Burr, where you just get on a roll about something and delve deep into the stupidity of it and let her rip.
I, on the other hand, over here, am building a different type of company, but we are building a production house, or I am building a production house that Tim is going to be a part of, to where we'll have other studios where we're going to be doing all sorts of other stuff. So future podcasters, videocasters, all of the above, it doesn't matter. We're going to have a production house to where we can do everything. So, yeah. Coming to a store near you and a video near you is Timmy Time, featuring Timmy Marin.
But I appreciate Mark giving me that opportunity to, use his studio and whatnot. But I think some of the best work will be out at my lake house when I'm drunk and I don't really know what I'm saying, where all the good shit comes from deep down in my brain.
Well, that's why you just need to set a camera up. This is what you need to do. You just need to set a camera, because the editing is very easy. Well, it's not that easy, but it's easy. Okay? But what I'm getting at is you just need to point a camera at you. A camera like this, and in fact, when we build the new studio, I'll give you one of these.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Set it up on like they sell tripods and all this. I mean, they're only like this tall. Okay? And yeah, Wes, what's his last name?
Wes Parker?
Yeah. Hey, asshole. My lens is different than Tim's. Tim's got the fucking good lens. I've got the shitty lens, okay? So that's why it's favorable to Tim. I'm getting fucked over here, and I run the fucking show.
Hey, Wes left a comment, which we're asking anybody and everybody to leave a comment, but Wes left the comment saying that the camera was more friendly to me than Captain Mark, as he called him. But
because all the fucking lights are on. These fucking lights are on me.
But all Wes would say anything to be shocking, so I wouldn't put too much stock in it.
No, what did I call the machine? He was
the machine.
The machine.
But do
you know who else is the machine?
Kevin Jones.
No. Bert Kreischer. You know who Bert Kreischer is?
No.
He's a fucking comedian. He's hilarious. He is hilarious. And he went to Russia and drank with all these Russians, and they named him the Machine. So now he stands up and does comedy with his shirt off, with his big old fucking belly out. Yeah. Now you need to look at, if you like Bill Burr, you're like Bill Kreischer.
Oh, Wes lost a bunch of weight. Shout out to Wes, losing a bunch of weight. He got beat up by the cops in the courtroom one time, screaming, "You're beating up a grandfather!" Playing the grandfather card.
Why did they do that?
Oh, who knows? He's down there raising hell about a traffic ticket or something. He never wears a seatbelt, and I think he had got online and found some doctor that gave him a prescription to not wear a seatbelt, and the cop called horse shit on it or something.
Wes.
Is that a move or what?
Wes. Camera, switch to me, please. Come on. Wes, you should have hired me.
Yeah, you both could have got beat up together.
No, I'm undefeated. Undefeated in fighting tickets. Undefeated.
Yeah, but having a homemade prescription, that was asking a lot there. See, you got to wonder who your client. I mean, you might have got OJ off, but you ain't getting Wes off with some homemade prescription and not. I mean, what the hell is a prescription to not wear a seatbelt? I mean, what a concept that is.
Cutting off his blood flow. He was a big boy back then.
He's still a big boy.
He's a big boy, but
he's lesser of a big boy.
So is it? Well,
I'm actually crashing with that knucklehead in Oklahoma this weekend. We're going on a golf trip, and nobody would ever crash with Wes because he'll snore the nails right out of the sheetrock.
Jesus Christ, he will.
But he swears he's got some new apnea machine or something that's going to tell him. But by the time I go to bed, I'll be so drunk. I mean, I'd sleep through an earthquake.
No, that's probably why he lost a bunch of weight if he got him an apnea machine. Do you know that's why it's the same thing that happened with me? That's why I got a huge, I'm not there yet. There's my chest bone. I'm not totally six pack yet. But that's why men get those big ass fucking bellies is sleep apnea. That's the leading cause. And leading causes or the next thing is low testosterone. Sleep apnea is a motherfucker, man. When I did my test, I think that I stopped breathing like 200 times in a night, or it could be vice versa. So I stopped breathing 200 times in a night, and my heart stopped 90-something times.
Is that why you got brain damage?
No,
lack of oxygen?
It's that. I'm telling you, sleep apnea is a motherfucker for people.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's why you hear them over there. They're going.
Yeah, they're coming back from the dead.
Yeah, I used to listen to my dad do it all the time. He'd be over there. And then all of a sudden he'd go. You're not getting a fucking ounce of oxygen, but your mouth is wide fucking open.
Yeah, and you don't know what's going on. You're sleeping or passed out or drunk or whatever. All of the above.
Especially when you're drunk. And if you're laying on your back, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah. I snore like a chainsaw if I'm on my back, but I'm not comfortable sleeping on my back, so that kind of works out.
Yeah. No, sleep apnea is a motherfucker for people, man, and it's real, and it causes heart problems. It's one of the biggest problems of heart problems. Like, I mean, it because your heart stops so many times in a night.
Well, see, my nose, I got hit in the face with a basketball as a kid. I learned real quick that a no-look pass means a no-look pass. This ball came out of nowhere and whacked me in the face. So I got one nostril bigger than the other. My nose is kind of squashed. I actually used those breed strips for a while, and it just kind of pooched out my nostrils, and I mean that helped immensely. And so I got a small version.
Is that what those things do? Is
Yeah, it's got like it's not a spring, but it's got like a piece of metal in it and it's got like some glue.
Okay, so I was wondering what the fuck those things do.
So you put it on the bridge of your nose or just down, and then it like pulls your nostrils open. You might want to look into those. I mean, it's better than all this.
I've got some in there.
Yeah, you might sleep a whole lot better. Just remember to take it off in the morning, otherwise, you'll look like you
got in a fight.
Yeah, nobody knows what the hell's going on.
Well, I've got a mouthpiece. What I use now. I used to have one of those look like you're flying a jet masks.
Yeah, my golf outings with my old buddies, a bunch of those had those. They all hated them and shit.
Yeah, you get all wadded up and tangled up. You feel like you. I'd roll over in the machine. I mean, that machine costs like $1,500.
Well, don't tell Wes any of this until after Friday and Saturday night because I'm rooming with him. So don't give him no ideas to try something new because he needs to use that damn machine if I'm sleeping in that room with him.
Yeah. No, but they make a mouthpiece.
Yeah, but try that strip. They're cheap as hell, and
Well, now that
That
I've lost weight, because that's why I blew up. That's why men blow up like that. It's low testosterone, but it's normally started by sleep apnea.
So
And the fatter you get, the worse the restriction is.
yeah, it's kind of like what do you call it? Compounding. Yeah, the worse it gets, the worse it gets. So it's got nothing to do with beer, folks. It's a sleep apnea belly. So if your wives out there saying you drink too much beer, say no.
Sleep apnea.
It's sleep apnea.
I got my man card. Get the fuck away from me.
I got a right to be wrong. That's a Delbert McClinton song. I love it. I've got a right to be wrong. I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
When you get to the bottom of the hole, quit digging, you know. So.
Well, you want to hit a couple of topics?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Behind every good man is a good woman. Yes or no?
Boy, that's an old saying for sure. That one's been around a long time. We need to.
It was true a long time ago.
Is it still true?
I don't think so.
Really? It's evolved. What?
There's a bunch of unthankful women.
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't know if it's 100% true, because what is, but
there still is a lot of good women out there.
But I would say that's more true than it's not true. That now, of course, a single dude or whatever, he can blaze his own trail and all of that and make his own decisions. But hell, maybe it's his secretary is the good woman. Doesn't necessarily have to be your wife or partner, But for somebody to be very successful,
you need a woman that can run the household.
Well, I just even mean if you're single, you need somebody to take crap off your plate.
Well, no, but I had this conversation with my realtor this morning. Not she's my realtor. She was showing me a commercial space, and we had this conversation. And it is true. Yes, it is true.
I think you could go further with a good woman than you could without a good woman.
Oh, well, it's just like what I've always preached. There's plenty of other episodes back there where I would work with a woman any day of the week than a man.
Yeah.
As far as when it comes to the office.
I know you've said that.
How the company runs and how women get shit done. And it's because they know how to multitask better than anybody. And they have this innate sense of time because they have so much shit to do when they get home.
Time is crucial. Understanding time, not wasting time, not procrastinating. But there's a time for procrastinating, but it's rare. But
man, they come they come in, they prioritize, and they get shit done. It's
they'd rather knock it out and go to hell home. Dudes are like, well, yeah. Did you see Monday Night Football?
Yeah. No,
what do you think of the Mavericks?
I'm doing the best I can over here, man. Why are you bitching at me? It's because you're fucking sitting on your ass and you're not getting anything done. That's why I'm bitching at you. So I've never had to crack the whip on a woman to get her to go get shit done. Women get it done.
Well, you got the new phenomenon now with Facebook and all kinds of stuff. So I guess men, women, it doesn't matter. I mean, you got employees now that are just, you hire a contractor or somebody. I mean, they're always looking at their phone. Are they looking at the phone, looking up the wiring diagram for what they're supposed to fix? Or are they checking, GameStop price and, seeing what Cowboy trades or, who are they projecting the Cowboys draft in the first round next month,
Well, they ain't doing that.
Well, I'm just saying. But they could be on Facebook or something. But that all this social media crap, I mean, do that shit at the house. Don't do that at work.
But the thing is that's how the world works now. It may not be in your wheelhouse, But here's the thing. There still is that day-to-day stuff, right? And that's where companies are starting to, and I think that's why the whole working from home model is working better than working at the office, is because if you give them the best of both worlds to where they can fuck off on their social media, or not fuck off, but just
have a little elbow room.
Yeah,
use it, don't abuse it.
Yeah, but as long as you get your task done by the end of the day, as long as your performance is there, then it's good. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of caught up in that. I'm not a woman. I do identify as a male, a man. I have a penis.
Today, anyway.
Yeah, they could chop it off tomorrow, but not today.
Don't sign the papers.
Yeah, no. Not today. Ain't happening today. But there's so much information out there right now on social media. That's the beauty of social media, but it's also the downfall is because it's so fucking addictive, dude. I'm telling, I'm guilty of it. That's the birth of most men. I mean, that's when I figured out the power of social media. That is what opened up my eyes to all of it.
Yeah, you could scream most man from the highest mountain.
But it has to be done on social media. But here's the thing. There's so much information. And if you use it wisely, it's a huge tool. And it's just like what we were talking about earlier. So I'm buying a bus for Most Man because we're going to take the show on the road. But I was talking to that RV salesman, and he was like, "All this shit's going to be gone in 30 days. If you're not ready to buy like now, then you don't need to be looking because all this shit, whatever you like here, can be gone." And it's because people are they're saying fuck the school system, man. Fuck the school system. Fuck all this indoctrination. Fuck all this.
Yeah, you're going to give me how much for my house? Hell yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and we can travel the world with our kids, or not travel the world, but travel the United States, and we can homeschool? Well, who the fuck wouldn't do that? You know, you could do your homework while you're on the road at 5 or 6 o'clock at night, but then during the day, again, shout out Sailing Zatara.
Yeah, talk about a field trip, you know.
Oh, dude, they take their boat and they're windsurfing. They're what's that kite surfing. They're
windsurfing.
They're doing all sorts of cool shit,
snorkeling,
scuba diving, all this stuff. They are doing the coolest fucking shit you can do during the day. And then I don't know when they educate their kids, but their kids are smart. They're damn smart.
Well, and you can do the same thing only without water with a RV. I mean,
yeah,
your field trips, what? Go to the Grand Canyon or go to the Redwood Forest of California. Just stay out of California as much as you can. A little advice there. I mean, unless you like that kind of thing.
People are fleeing from there, though.
I know.
Because they're fucking smartening up.
I know. That's why we can sell any piece of land or a house around here, because Californians want to buy it because it's half the price and twice as big. So,
and it goes quick.
Yep. I hope they leave their politics there, though.
They do. I think they do. Do I sound different on this mic to you?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. I think it sounds fine, but it sounds a little bit different.
Well,
but when I got my fan on back here, I don't think it's picking it up.
I hadn't noticed the difference.
Okay.
Well, we got the spinning world right here. If that don't inspire you to hit the road, and you folks can't see this, but this thing isn't even touching the ground. Get it? Oh, don't dub it. But I mean, this thing's like magnetically hovering, and I'm just enamored with that thing, man. It's just so cool.
How about now?
Nope. You just. Nope. Yep. Oh. No. Yeah, that's close enough. they'll just have to take our word for it that
We got a little bit more room.
there's nothing to. Watch, I touch it, it comes winging off of there. It's got the warble going. I don't know, maybe let it settle in. But yeah,
There we go. You can see that.
I love that thing, man.
I got an extra.
If it falls off of there, though, oh, Mark, it's funny watching him trying to set it on there, man. And that magnet's stout, man. It boom. I mean, I don't know who designed that, but it beats a pet rock.
It's only here's what's crazy about that though. It's only like $50.
You'd expect to pay millions.
Yeah,
I seen a beer store at a beer counter one time. It said, whatever, case of beer, $19.99. You'd expect to pay millions. It was fucking hilarious.
Okay, so speaking behind every good man is a good woman.
Oh yeah, back to
Who's this fucking transvestite on Bud Light's fucking cans right now?
Yeah,
Stack it up.
Mulvaney or something.
Who in the fuck at Bud Light thought that was gonna be fucking good?
Some lady. She's like 30 years old. I seen an interview with her. Well,
is she proud of her decision?
Oh yeah, we need to reach out to a new, whatever. But see, I think a lot of people think those cans are all for sale, but they're not. They just put his face on the cans and gave them it, her, him, whatever the hell. I don't even know what to call any of this shit. But I ain't gonna play the
Zer dip.
Yeah,
Jack.
I ain't playing the game.
I ain't either.
The dude with the dress on, and
I bet you still got a dick too.
I hope I never find out. But they put his face on these cans and sent it to him, but they're not for sale. I think a lot of people think that it's for public consumption.
Well, their stock went down 30% as soon as all that shit happened.
Nah, 4. I looked it up. Maybe their sales, but not the stock.
No, sales went down 30%.
I heard they had a dart tournament with 100 people involved, and they sold 4. Bud Light sponsored the thing. This has been all over the news, so this ain't news to anybody out there. But they sold 4 long neck bottles of Bud Light to 100 people that normally just chain guzzle the shit. So, good luck with that.
No, it's dirty piss water anyway. I've drinking Bud Light.
Gives me the meanest. Any Anheuser-Busch product gives me the meanest headache.
Oh yeah, I used to love Budweiser, but God bless America, man. You talk about once you get through your teenage phase or your young phase, yeah, any of that.
Well, here's what's funny. I always
Rolling Rock's even hurting. I talked to the guy at Goody Goody.
Yeah.
And he even said they're stacking Rolling Rock like,
because that's
Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah,
they're boycotting all that shit.
I grew up in Cleveland. Rolling Rock was not a premium beer, but it was better than.
It was above average.
Yeah, it was imported from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Stroh's was made in Detroit and PBR and all that, so it was like a less mass-produced beer. But then when I moved down here, about 5 years after I lived down here, it was probably about 85 or somewhere in there, they got Rolling Rock down here, and it was like, whoa, you could get Rolling Rock, and so I probably bought 3 or 4. It might have came in 8 packs or something. I bought 3 or 4 of them, and I was like, yeah, who gives a shit? We used to drink the Mickey's Big Mouths with the giant.
Yeah. Let's get back into this real quick.
Oh, yeah.
You had a perfect scenario for this. Behind every good man is a good woman. Yes or no? You had a perfect scenario, and your scenario was you're either a good one or you're a bad one. You'll derail a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Go.
Okay. Yeah, so here's what I told Mark. This was a couple weeks ago. He goes, yeah, I got to write that down. That's why I got to write shit down, because it was long gone out of my brain. But I can't do the imitate. I like, the Bill Burr and the Mark, when they imitate the woman, I'm just not good at that. I mean, I could do it, but I just don't feel comfortable, like, the bitchy woman thing. But so say you got a high school girlfriend and you break up, then she marries some dipshit somewhere, and then you become successful, and then she's off talking about, I broke up with him, but if I'd have stayed with him instead of marrying you, so now she's bitching at the dipshit. He's like, man, I thought we were cool. We went out. Well, look at him over there. Look at him over there. He became successful. I should have stayed with him. The point I made to Mark was he might have never been successful if she stuck around. She might have been like a boat anchor. I mean, the only reason maybe the dude isn't successful she's married to is because she's a train wreck. She didn't enhance him. See, when you get a couple together, you got to become better than the sum of your parts. Like some football teams on paper, like they all suck or they're average, but they win championships or they're great because they play as a team. They handle their responsibility. Nobody's trying to be the big star. They don't go for the interception when you got no help behind you, because if you don't get it, they score a touchdown. You got to understand your role in the program. So if you shoot for the moon and miss, your ass is grass. So I'll let Mark probably chime in here, but that's the bottom line is she thinks she would have been, just anybody she hooked up with would have been still successful when maybe that's not the case.
I'll give you a perfect example of this.
All right.
The second girl that I fell in love with. Okay. Not fell in love with, but thought she was the right one. I gotta be careful how I say this because I just talked to her last night. Okay, so.
Oh.
Okay. But here's the thing. There's always the one that you think, if I marry her, we become the power couple, right? Or she's the yin to my yang.
Yeah.
All I need is a beautiful woman, a good woman. And here's the thing. This girl was from Honduras. Okay? Hot as fuck. Her dad was the largest shrimper in Honduras. This chick was a fucking model. Okay? Hot as fuck. Smart. Had everything going for her. Okay? The second time we fucked, she was like, I think I'm pregnant. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then 4 days later, the whole family's coming to town to meet me. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? But what I'm saying on the outside, I was like, man, this is a good fucking grab, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this chick was hot. I'm not gonna get into.
The cheese tasted good until the mousetraps came winging down.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, hold the fuck up, because I know that. I was like, man, are you really doing that? But she's not Hispanic. What do you call those girls from down there? They're
Honduran.
Well, not Honduran, but
that's why you got to have Timmy time, because I can say that without getting punched.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. She used that pregnant line on me to lock me in. And I was like,
is that South America?
No, God, what is it? Not Hispanic. It's
Aztec. Inca, Aztec.
I don't
know.
But here's the thing. On paper, she was an excellent grab. I would be marrying into a family of money, businessman, doing well myself. Dad, very successful businessman. Brothers, very successful underneath the father. The whole thing. Like in Honduras, they had the biggest house on the mountain.
And you're a boat captain, so the shrimping thing was going to be right up.
No, and their shrimp boats made it to Texas. That's how far they came. Okay, so I'm just saying that on paper it looked good, but I was like, whoa.
How old were you when this was going on?
22, 23. And just for the record, best sex in my life. Best. She was more, I think she was a virgin. If she wasn't a virgin, she was definitely not far past it. Okay? So I was getting something pure. I was getting all this, but it was just, there was so much that I was just like, whoa, hold up a minute. We've only been dating for like a month, and you're talking pregnancy. Your family's coming into town. You know, if you fuck me around, my brothers will cut your fucking throat. You know, and I'm like, whoa. Need to get rid of you. And that's when I met my wife. Or my future wife. So that could have derailed my whole program back then.
You were most man in the making.
In the making. You
were in the oven. You were already getting baked. You had to get out.
And it was just her personality. She was a great girl. That's what I'm saying. She was sweet. She was loving. She treated me like a king.
Did you wind up being pregnant?
No. Hell no.
It was all just a
ploy to lock me in. Yeah. I ended up kicking her out. So this is okay. So all this shit. And I was like, look, we need to chill on this. Okay. And again, guys, men out there, young men, most men out there, this was primo action in the bedroom. I'm talking the best of the best.
That'll cloud some judgment sometimes. You got to be careful.
It will. But
like
I was
Star Trek episode, you know.
Anyway. Yeah. But what I'm getting at is I was like, hold the fuck up. Like, I'm about to make a really bad choice here. And
well, it was kind of almost not even you know, it was you were forced into the choice, and you didn't take the least resistance.
I didn't take the bait. And I was like, look, we need to chill. And so she was moving. She was Seventh-day Adventist. She went to school in Keene. I don't know. Nobody out there knows where Keene is.
Hell, I don't even know where that is.
It's a Seventh-day Adventist town south of Fort Worth. Okay. But I'm telling you, an extremely good girl. Didn't hang out with a bunch of people. She was pure as the wind-driven snow. As far as a good girl to land, right? But it just got so weird so quick that I was like, look, you gotta go. Okay. But so she's moving out of her apartment, moving back down to Keene to her college where she's going. Right. So she was like, look, hey, you know, we've had a good run. You know, can I pack my stuff in my apartment, put it in your house till I move, this, that, and the other. And, you know, I'll come pick my stuff up. But in between, and she went back to Honduras. But in between there is when I met my future wife, now my ex-wife. But it was just such a moment of clarity of how in a month you can go from just having the best time of your life to just like, whoa,
The old frying pan to the fire.
What the fuck is going on here? I mean, like bringing in all the family, and they're like, look, we can't wait to have, we want to bring you to Honduras. We want to do this, the sister, the brother-in-law, the blah, 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 blah.
The dad already bought you a shrimp boat, and Mark on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fucking nuts. What's going on with your beer can over there? What's all these smiley faces?
Man, they used to have these last year around Christmas, and I seen my son had this shit. And I go, what? You got some old ass beer or what? He goes, no, I think they brought the cans back. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it. I thought it was stupid around Christmas, but for last Christmas. It wasn't just this Christmas that went by. So yeah, they got rid of these last summer, and then now they seem to have rejuvenated themselves, but I don't know what it's about. Probably some. I don't even know.
No, but I'm just saying, man.
Some devil worship shit for all I know.
If I would have dipped my toe and put my foot in the water, I'd be fucked right now. I don't know how fucked I'd be, but I'd be fucked. I know I would have.
Well, you may have unfucked yourself by now.
But I would have, but I'm just saying, I was just like, what in the fuck is going on here? But it felt so right at first. Everything felt so right.
You'd had 8 kids by the time you were 30, paying $3 million in child support.
Jesus, something. Or headless out in the middle of the Gulf.
Shrimp bait.
Yeah.
The chum.
Yeah. Shrimp love Texas boys.
Jeez.
Chop his dick off and throw him in the water.
Well, I'm an idiot and forgot my cooler, so I got to go to the refrigerator and get a cold one, so... Talk some wisdom to the most men out there.
Okay, so yeah, so that's the whole thing. Behind a good man is a good woman, and it's true. It's true because good women complement a man. They do. They're good homemakers. They're good wives. They're good mothers. They're good educators. They're good homemakers. They're everything. And I'm not saying that we're not transitioning into all this other stuff, but a good woman knows not her role. The role's not the wrong thing to say because again, I would work with a woman any day of the week than a man. But I'm just saying, as a family unit, I'm not saying that the man should have the final say, but we all should be respected. And, but once that disrespect starts happening to where all you're doing is just working your ass off to provide, and then all of a sudden you lose respect. Everybody that I know that is successful, that has had a successful marriage, and their family unit moves forward, is that there's a profound, deep respect for each other and what their roles are. And like I took my role seriously, and I was very good at it. I was very good at my role. But just as time moved on, it just, so women out there, just a notch down. Let us do us. You do you. We'll respect you as long as you respect us. So basically what I was saying, just to catch you up to speed, was, yes, behind every good man is a good woman. Okay? But a good woman, and it's not that we're men, they need to know their place. No. It's that there's a mutual respect for the household. It is our job to go out there and provide and protect and do everything that we're supposed to do. But just give us our respect, and we'll give you, because we're really simple creatures. Men are. I've known, but what I'm saying is every successful family that I've known, whether it be the elite of the elite, those women they know that they're lucky they're lucky to be a part of that family. So they just need to be the mom. Be the housewife. Be the not just the homekeeper. I mean, we can all hire maids, but what I'm saying is just know that men, we take our role seriously. It's our job, you know.
But see, I totally agree with everything you said, but there's a twist to it too, and it would be, say you got a couple, they're both making good money, and they, both making really good money, got a couple kids, and the dude gets canned for whatever reason, Hell,
the economy.
You bitched about Bud Light, and you got canceled. So, and the woman, she can make enough money to, so the dude needs to run the house. I mean, he ain't got a job. She's the breadwinner all of a sudden. You can't let your ego get in the way. You got to say, hey, man, we're a team. We're a partnership. And the deck just got shuffled. Whoa, no, I almost crashed the earth. But
we can get it back.
That's good. But, I mean, you don't let your ego get in the way that, because heck, when I met my wife, she made more money than I did. She had a college degree. I didn't. But then when we got married and started having kids, I was self-employed. So, I started making more money, and she quit her job. And heck, that's why she's so good at helping me now. I mean, she knows what the hell she's doing. So, but my point is, if the woman becomes the breadwinner, or however evolves into being I mean, you got a woman making $1 million a year. What are you going to say? Oh no, man, let me go. My ego's in the way. It's like, hell, man, I'll raise the kids and go to the park and shit. I'll do it.
I don't have any problem with that.
But as long as it's
give and take.
Understood.
It's respect between both parties, and it's a team. That's exactly.
You can't.
Nailed it. You nailed it.
You can't tell her, I'm cool with this, and then bitch to your friends, oh man, this blows. If it's cool, it needs to be cool. You need to let her know it's cool.
No, one of my great friends, my old realtor that I used to use, and I'm not going to bring it up on here because it doesn't need to happen. But she was going through some rough spots in her marriage, and me and her I just thought we were friends, and it kind of got intertwangled. I had no clue that it was headed in that, like, relationship direction. I was still married, and I had no clue. But this woman is a boss bitch. I mean, she is fucking phenomenal, dude. She is a excellent businesswoman, excellent sales woman, excellent in real estate. She's in the top of her food chain in that industry. She is any guy's dream. Okay, she's good looking. She's tall. You know what I mean? She's hot, but she runs the show, and it's not that she even tries to run the show. It's just her naturally.
Her personality to run.
Yeah,
the show.
No, she just, and she's not a bitch about it. It's just her personality. She's fucking good at what she does.
She don't have time for bullshit. She takes care of business, and
yeah,
it's like there's no decision to be made. This is a no-brainer. Well, let's talk about it. What's there in her brain? There's nothing to talk about. I mean, if we don't do it this way, it's stupid.
But she attracted weaker men. But she wanted that real man. Okay?
Yeah.
And it just so happened that she went through a divorce, a bad divorce that was rough. And this guy appeared to have his shit together. But once they got going, she was the alpha. And she didn't like that. She wanted to be her. She wanted to be a good mother, a good supporter of the family, an earner, because that was in her DNA. That's just in her DNA. She's a businesswoman. Okay? But she had the wrong teammate.
Yeah, I got you.
But not only that, this woman, not only did she take care of her kids, she took care of her brother's kids. She adopted them.
Oh, jeez.
And
Wow.
now she's single. And she's still doing it.
Why, was her brother a train wreck or something?
Yeah.
So
He went to Thailand and did some shady shit.
went to Honduras.
His wife just somehow died. And he came back to the United States with kids. But I'm just telling you, man, I have nothing but respect for her. She was just, and I'm telling you, man, you being a concrete guy, what I used to be, I could call her at 5 o'clock in the morning. She'd be like, "What's up? I just got off the treadmill. You know, what do you got?" And she'd go. She'd go all day, pick up the kids from school, and I'm not kidding you. This woman cooked a fucking Thanksgiving meal every day in their house. Every day. That's what I'm saying. There's not a man out there that wouldn't want this fucking woman. Okay?
Yeah.
But at the same time, for a man,
you better be able to handle that.
You better be able to handle it, number one. Two, she didn't expect to be put on a pedestal. She wanted to be that woman, and she was.
It almost sounds like she had the plan.
She did.
We've been talking to the most men out there. Have a plan. Don't count on nobody. Count on yourself. It sounds like she was making sure.
Listen,
if the shit hit the fan, she was going to be
You can count
upright.
on me. You can count on me. And let me tell you something. When she went through that first divorce, her husband filed bankruptcy in the middle of the divorce, and they had close to 40 or 45 commercial and rent houses. And she was she's a realtor. She had a mortgage company. She was a property management company. She had
an investor.
Fucking had it going on, dude. And this dude derailed the program. And she came out of it.
Did he do it out of spite or something?
Spite. Jealousy. Because he was the fucking...
If I can't have it, you can't have it.
Right.
Jeez.
No, he was mad that she could fucking... And she did. I'm telling you. This woman...
She's a mover and a shaker.
Yeah. And that's kind of when I left my wife the first time. Because me and her this was one of my... I'm telling you right now. As far as women go, she was my best friend. She was my best friend. She's who I talked business with every day. Me and her clicked. And it somehow developed into this relationship because she had a weak man at home, and it seemed like me and her would fit. But that's what my wife thought whenever I told her. I said, "You got to get out and you got to go." She's like, "Yeah, because I know exactly where you're going." And I'm like, "No, not really." Because me and her would be a fucking train wreck. We'd be butting heads. You see what I'm saying? It's not that. And that's what I used to tell her. I was like, "Look, it wasn't anything romantic with me. It kind of got romantic with her." But I was like, "Look, when I get done with work, I don't want to come home and be challenged and have to."
It's beer and cigar time. It ain't worked. Yeah, you got to recharge your battery for the next day.
You could call her at 9 o'clock at night, and she'd be like, "All right, look, I'm about to go to bed, but here's blah, 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 blah." And it's like, dude, she couldn't shut it off. She's a badass, and I don't want to mention her name just because she's so, even though we're not as good as friends as we used to be, but she totally, man, the last time I talked to her, I did talk to her after me and my wife split. She totally revamped her program. She's like, "Look, I was like, "Yeah, you're a lot. You're a lot to handle." And it's not in a bad way.
It's just what she is, what she is.
She is what she is, but what I'm telling you though is how fucking perfect her fucking program. There's not a I don't know many.
She checked all the boxes.
I don't know many men that could handle this because it would make you feel so inferior.
Yeah.
Not me, but I knew that I'd be like, man, that's kind of why I married the woman that I marry, is because when I come home, when I come home, I want it to tone down. I don't want to be challenged. I don't want to be fucking, so what was your deal today? What was it? Fuck all that. Dude, that shit's over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's coming early enough tomorrow. I get right back into it tomorrow. I don't want to get back into it tonight.
But I'm just telling you, that woman was she still is. I know she is. All
right, a shout out to good women out there that hustle, bust her ass, and take care of business.
Well, I would love to say her name, but I want to get her permission first.
That would be a train wreck.
Well, I want her because, well, when the podcast gets bigger, I'll mention her name because she's that fucking good. I mean, she is the best realtor I've ever dealt with.
And by the time you do that, she'll be married. You'll mention her name. Her husband will get jealous, and it'll derail their freaking relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I have that much respect for her as a friend, even though shit just got a little crazy there for a little while.
All right, you got anything else on the ledger over there?
Mm-hmm.
But to recap, don't be afraid of a good woman. Don't let your ego get in the way. If you got a good woman and things aren't exactly how you think they should be, evaluate and say, you know what? I'd be fucking up if I rocked this boat.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean be a most man and just go with something stupid because you're supposed to.
But here's the thing, though. The great homemaker is the best wife. Like what you said, she takes care of the house, she takes care of the kids, she takes care of that relieves a man from all his stresses to where he knows that shit's because that's the deal. Our job is to get up early in the morning, work our ass off all day, make sure that everything at home, you provide that opportunity for her to be what she wants to be. Is that best woman behind a man? Doesn't mean she's behind. You're equal.
But it doesn't mean, like, if you make enough money in 3 days a week, so you're not going to work every single day, but you're making money, your company's making money or something, don't be underfoot at the house. Don't undermine what's going on at the house. Hell, work 3 days, go play golf, go to the lake, go, if she wants you around, be around. If she don't want you around, when he's not at work, he just sits in the chair and watches the news, which I'm probably half guilty of that one.
But here's the other thing.
Be an asset. Don't be an anchor.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Women, I don't want to sound like this, but what happened in my marriage was the more successful that I got, she started to spite it because I could do anything I wanted. I could buy anything I wanted. I could do anything I wanted. And it was like, look, I'm here raising the kids. And it's like, well, that's what you wanted. I'm giving you everything you wanted. And now all of a sudden I'm the fucking asshole. No, I'm not. I'm doing what we plan to do. Let me be me and you be you. And I respect your domain. You know what I mean? That's. But it's just, I think it's where we live and the tone of the women in our area is, oh my God, we stay home and take care of the kids and they don't appreciate anything and blah, 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 blah. No, we appreciate it all. That's why we do it.
You know what? There's a whole bunch of neighborhoods that are chock full of women going, I can't believe I got to work. I wish I could stay at home. Then you got a whole neighborhood full of women staying at home going, why do I got to stay at home and take care of the kids? Well, go get a job. Let go of the rope.
Yeah. So I've got something on that. Okay. So once I got really successful to where I didn't have to in the concrete company. Okay, because I missed a lot of that early age of my kid's life of being a father. I worked insane fucking hours.
Because you're building the business.
Right, in the worst economy known to man in the construction business, 2008 to 2013. And I had all my money invested, so failure was not an option, which means I've got to succeed. Okay? But what it turned into was all you do is care about your company. All you do is care about work. All you do is this. And it's like, God damn it. If you knew, they lose track of reality that there's a recession out here right now. Okay.
Yeah, this is a dream compared to what that was. We're about to go into one of those.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not there yet.
Right. But, all these so I got to the point where I was successful enough to where I could take the kids to school. Like I wanted to get that experience of dropping them off. Hey, love you. Have a good day. You know.
Don't forget your lunch.
Yeah. It meant the world to me, man. It meant everything to me. But those women in the line, because where we're at, everybody, you just pull up in a line and you drop your kids off. And it was like these women, it was everything they could do to peel their ass out of bed to take the kids to school. And I'd hear them talk, and they'd be like, oh, my God. Jimmy's got to work till 5 today. Well, no shit. He's got to work till 5.
You're lucky it ain't 8 or 9.
Right. Oh, my God. I've got to go home, and I've got to go work out. I've got to go home and clean the house. And
I got to meet the gardener.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you so fucking unhappy about? You got everything that you want. And it's such a fucking task to peel your ass out of bed. You can't even just put on some clothes. Oh, so stressed out. You know, I had to take the kids to school this morning. And now I've got to go back and get in bed and be up by noon to get to my workout, and then have to clean up from dinner last night. And it's just like, what? I was like, what in the fuck is this? You ought to be thankful that you can be able to do this, you know?
Yeah, go work in a coal mine and see how you change your tune, you know?
Exactly. You know, so it's so all over the map, but
there's always a but.
Yeah, I mean, just come on, gals out there. If you got a hard-working dude, appreciate him, because he appreciates you. He appreciates what you're doing to allow him to go out and bust his ass, to give you everything you want, because it means something. It meant something to me. It meant something to me to know that I went to work, or, you know, my business, and know that I was doing good enough to know that my wife stayed at home and she had that opportunity to raise our kids the way they should be raised instead of a daycare. You know? But it got unappreciated. Not just mine. I'm talking lots. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next one. Oh, boy. Are you sure you want to stoke this fire?
Why not? I got a cold beer.
Okay.
I can handle anything.
Women are always in your shit because they know they can't be hit.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm sure that comes into play.
Oh, I've got
sure that comes
several. I've got several of those stories.
I'm sure that comes into play more often than meets the eye.
The more they stay home, the angrier they get.
Yeah, I could see. I could see how they've got a.
You're the one that brought this up, by the way.
Yeah.
This was your Bill Burr joke.
Well, that's the thing. Bill Burr he mentioned this, and yeah. So let's just give a shout out to Bill Burr on this.
Yeah, Bill Burr, funny motherfucker.
But
Love Bill Burr.
yeah, we don't want to be stealing people's material and such. But we're not telling a joke. We're here to analyze what it's about. And if you've got a woman, well, the Bill Burr thing was if he says something stupid in public, a guy could punch him in the head. But a woman or your woman or girlfriend or significant other or whatever, she can say it right to your face and she knows you're not going to hit her. So, they're working with a net, where if you're out in a bar and you say something wrong to somebody, it can be a third as egregious and you still might get punched in the head. But she can say whatever she wants and you're going to jail. It's just your life's over if you touch her, and she knows it. So where do they draw the line on, I'm pushing his buttons because I want to push his buttons and I want to piss him off, or she just said it because you needed to hear it, I guess that's part of it too. If she's saying something that you don't like, are you guilty of it? That's probably to go there first. That needs to be part of your process. Is she saying this shit to piss me off? Or is she saying it because it's true? Or is she saying it's true to piss me off?
Well, I can answer that.
All right.
Okay. In my heyday, when we went from this to this to this.
The chart, business chart.
My company went from here flat, because it was 2008, the worst fucking recession that the construction industry had ever seen, and I invest all my money in the concrete industry, okay? That's how I roll, okay? But we went from here to some hope, and then to here. And then all of a sudden money wasn't an issue, but hours were an issue. We were just riding a fucking rank ass saddle bronc horse on the ride to the top. It was just trying to fucking hang on, right? You're just trying to hang on and control the madness until you can get it under control. That's when my ex-wife starting shit. Because it was an easy time to fuck with me. Because I needed sleep. I was running on very little sleep. And she was jealous of the fact. It's like she developed a hatred for me.
Well, let me throw something in for the folks. When you're in the concrete business, you don't get up at 7 and be to work by 8. Yeah,
you experienced that this morning.
Yeah. I got up at 3 o'clock or 3:30 this morning. And everybody's going to be on the job at 5. I got there at 4:45, and it was in full-blown mode going. So, yeah, these people don't mess around, especially in Texas when it's 1,000 degrees by 11 o'clock. So nobody wants to be messing around any later in the day. But anyway, back to Mark.
Yeah, so in the spring and summer, we started pouring concrete at midnight.
Yeah, so your sleep pattern is just a
fucked,
shamble.
Fucked. And then you got your day customers you got to take care of. So it's this, can I just get some fucking sleep? Well, that's when she was mad. That's when she created this. Well, if it wasn't for me at home taking care of the kids, you wouldn't be able to work these hours. And it's like, well, goddamn, I need to work these fucking hours. Like that, we're in the middle. We're in the middle of the biggest growth spurt. We have to take advantage of it.
We just went through years of fucking sucking shit.
Yeah,
now there's finally some milk coming out of the tit over here.
Yeah. Now, could you just let me get this fucking train on the tracks? No, I'm going to fucking derail your program. She would come in, and I've got a picture of it. And I'm telling you right now, my dad told me when all this started happening, he was like, Mark. And again, last podcast, I got blasted or the podcast before the last podcast. If nobody knows who I am. I am Mark Mahoney, by the way. Hello. She would make my life holy hell. Because it was that point in our marriage where she was so unhappy staying at home. She got everything she wanted. All the women. Oh my God! If our husbands knew what we go through, we stay at home every day and take care of the kids, and they don't appreciate nothing. If they knew that we had to keep the house clean and
cook TV dinners,
cook this, cook that, and talk to kids every day. So when the first adult that walks through the door, you're just the first fucking target they got. Okay? But she did. She starting shit with me. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I told you, if you act this much, if you act like 1% like your sister acts, you're fucking out of here. I work my ass off, okay? If I'm guilty of anything, I'm guilty of working my ass off. That's what I'm guilty of. So, frame me, pin me on the fucking wall, put me in the fucking electric chair, do that. Because that's all I've ever done, is work my ass off. That's it. I'm in a different pattern in life now to where I'm gonna enjoy and I'm gonna appreciate everything in life. But what I'm getting at is that all the
when you're young, you're scared. I mean, you're 30 years old. You got no retirement. Everything
matters.
You're betting on the come on everything. It's not like, well, I punch a clock and I'll be home at 5 and I got a 401k or 403b if it's a yada yada. You gotta bring the stash home so your family has a cushion. So if the shit hits the fan, you're not out on the street.
Right. That's right. And there was a period of time because I planned it. I had a plan when I started the company. I didn't plan on 2008. This.
And you didn't plan on the rocket either.
No. But I had to take advantage of the rocket.
Damn straight.
Right? But now that the rocket takes off, I'm a guy that gets to do everything I want to fucking do. But here's the thing. She starting fights with me. Like wanting me to push her, hit her, or something. And it was always good. I'm a good Irish guy. I like my beer. Okay. She would always start it after I'd been drinking. And I'd be just like wanting to wind down. And I'd be like, what the fuck is all this? Why? Why this fucking anger? Why this whatever? You've never been that. Well, it's because she's sitting talking to 10 to 15 women that are sitting around going, yeah, they don't appreciate us staying at home. Well, it's we don't appreciate it. It's like what you asked for.
It's like The View on steroids, They got this consortium of
hate.
Well, yeah, let's analyze all of this. You don't even, it's easy to sit and bitch about something you don't know nothing about.
Right. And when he sits down, let's shove a fucking firecracker up his ass and, blow his whole fucking program up at night. He's just trying to relax. But my dad called it. And it started happening to me. Because we'd wake up the next morning. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, man, she started some crazy shit last night. And I had to drunk, or not drunk, but you know what I mean. In Texas, enough to go to jail.
Yeah, your buzz is setting in.
Yeah, trying to go to bed.
Planing out a little bit.
Yeah, and all of a sudden...
Well, your buzz has matured. That's all.
Man, she starting fights with me and all this shit, wanting me to hit her and push her or do all this stuff. And I'm like, man, fuck this. I just want to work. That's all I want to do. This is my job. Why are you... But all of a sudden, I knew that she was like trying to draw me in to get me to fly off the fucking handle.
To make a mistake.
To make a mistake to where she could call the cops on me. Young men out there, this will happen. I'm not saying every one of them. It will happen. Okay? To where
it's like murder. It happens all the time. It may not happen to you,
but it happens.
But yeah, read the newspaper. It goes on.
They start shit to get you to fly off the handle where you get a domestic violence or whatever it's called. Okay. Then you're fucked. Then your company, the everything that you built is gone.
In this day and age, if you're accused of it, you're guilty of it.
That's right.
Especially with social media and everything.
Well, no, especially if you swing back or you push or you do something that just gives her a scratch, you're fucked.
She's pointing a gun at you. You knock it out of her hand. Oh, look, he hit me.
No, I was sleeping. I was sleeping one night. I was dead asleep. Okay, dead asleep, and she came in and took all 5 of her fingers. I've got a picture of it. Because that morning that I showed up, my dad was like, we got to document this. She stuck her thumb right here.
Like a bowling ball.
And I had scratch marks. All the way down my face. I will get the picture and I will show you. Okay? And I was like, what in the fuck is this? Like, what
did a crazy-ass dream.
Yeah.
Only it ain't a dream.
Right. So that's when I left her the first time. Okay. But there was one time that she came running at me with a pot, like a pot or a pan. And she was either going to throw it at me or hit me with it or something. And all I did was just put my hands out. Just to not be whacked with the fucking pan. Okay. But that was enough with her running at me to where she fell down backwards, hit a chair, knocked her glasses off, and it cut her eye a little bit. And thank God she admitted that it was her fault. Okay?
Oh, yeah, you'd have got hung for that.
Yeah.
There's no way to defend yourself. They show up. She's got a cut eye.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done. They do this for a reason. It's because you have something that can set them up the rest of their life. And I did. I had millions of dollars in the bank. She knew it. She was like, if I could just fucking get him to hit me, I get not just half of that, but more than half. And I'm good. And I'm the mother of my children. Fuck you. I didn't take the bait. I left. Okay? Then she realized she was wrong. So we moved on. All that shit stopped. But they do that shit.
Because you can't hit them over there, the Bill Burr. They got the insulated. It's kind of like
insurance.
Yeah, insurance, but I was going to kind of go with it. It's almost like a gunfight where they got real bullets and you got blanks. They can shoot you, but you can't shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
And the courts back them for the most part. I'm not saying, there ain't wife beating and dudes don't need to be hung.
No,
don't get us wrong. I mean, we're not saying every dude's in this boat. We're just pointing out the fact that
it can happen.
That sometimes it's a strategy. It's not just
I got married, had the kids, and now all of a sudden I got to fuck shit up enough to where he fucks up enough to where I'm set for life and he's got to pay my way.
I mean, women literally hire hitmen to kill their husbands.
Oh, yeah.
So what if women, well, of course, men, I guess they tend to just kill their wives because, the jail's full of those. Women will hire a hitman to kill their husband. Just watch, any kind of TV show you want. I mean, that's the plot of every frickin' murder mystery show in general.
No, most men kill their wives. A real man says, "Whoa, I'm in a fucked up situation. I got to get the fuck out."
Yeah, there you go. So my point here was that don't get drug in to something you can't get out of and know it may not just be a random happening that, well, we're just really not getting along. She might have the strategy or the plan or something, but women do hire people to kill their husbands. So if they're capable of that, and not just women, I mean, if humans are capable of that, well, this is like way less. It's almost, this is passive aggressive compared to that. They still get what they want, but they make you the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't go to jail for it. They get half of everything instead of all of everything.
Well,
but half of a lot is still plenty.
Plenty.
So
and they're the victim, and you're the fucking asshole. You're the guy that just lost. He was just trying to protect himself and pushed her away, and then all of a sudden you lose not just everything. You can't see your children. You're a wife abuser. You're this. You're that. You're everything that a man does not want to be. Now, there are men out there that are just fucking assholes that beat the shit out of their wives. I know that.
10-4.
There are.
Yeah. They need to be freaking put in a car crusher.
I'll give you a perfect example of one. Okay? Men, young men, most men out there, future men, young men, any out of the blah, 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 anything that I just said. This woman, this is a friend of mine's friend. Okay? His wife put on a little bit of weight. Okay? And he started making money, and she started pulling this bullshit. Okay? And they were about to go to a cocktail party or a business party or whatever. Okay? And she had put on a little bit of weight. And she put a dress on. And she walked out and she was like, "Do I look fat in this dress?" And he said, "Yeah, you do. You need to put on another one. Something a little bit more loose. You're not 19 anymore. You've had 3 kids. Something a little bit more." And I call them squeezies. Once these women have a couple of kids, they put on these fucking body suits that suck them in to make them look skinnier and all this. But this wasn't taking care of that. But what he did is that she was on his ass so much. She was on his ass so much. He bought her in a remodel. He bought her this Viking stove or whatever those expensive ass stoves are, or whatever ranges, whatever women want. He put it on his business, American Express.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he told her that she looked fat in the dress. And that was it. She went on a fucking tear. She called the IRS. She called all these people. And he fucking lost his business for piercing the corporate veil. He lost everything over a fucking stove.
Damn.
Yeah. That was it.
So most men out there, you might want to have a filter on your tongue, which is kind of funny because we're sitting here unfiltered. Honestly though, there's a lot of shit pops in my brain I don't say. I'd love to, but man, you gotta have a brain, You just gotta
don't take the bait.
Don't
take the bait.
Well, and also don't create your own bait.
Yeah.
Don't throw the bait out there and then go get your own bait and hook yourself.
All he did was buy a fucking stove. That was it. Now, was it like a $6,800 or $7,500 stove? Yeah, it was. But he put it on his business, American Express, just to shut her the fuck up.
And she used that to hang him.
She fucking hung his ass. They came in, he got audited, he lost his business, and it was all over the stove purchase. And saying that, yeah, you're a little chubby in that dress, put a black one on.
Well, it sounds like there was probably some underlying shit going on there, because to go from everything's mellow and happy to that.
Well, no, he was expressing how unhappy he was. He was like, look, man, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do here. You know what I mean? You're not contributing anything. And you're complaining about, I'm giving you like this guy was making a bunch of money. Giving you everything you want, plus some. You know what I mean? Like when he remodeled the kitchen or house or whatever he did, he fucking did it to the tens. But he ran out of funds, and she demanded that she got this stove, and he got it for her. That was the only other way he could get it. He got hung by his balls by a cliff over that. Okay, so the moral of the story, because we're going to move on to the next one, okay, it's just, dear God, Timmy's, he needs another beer, and he's got to take him a piss, I guess. So the moral of the story is just think it through. Think it through. Because if you've got a spiteful one out there, and not all of them are, but when women are emotional, they want to inflict serious fucking harm on you. They do. It's because they're emotional beings. And when they're hurt, they want to hurt back. And that hurt back sometimes is just fucking catastrophic. So don't get caught up in that entanglement, because they all go through it. Especially stay-at-home moms. They go through this period where everything's cool and hunky-dory and they're loving their life, but then they're at home all day and all they're doing is talking to kids. And they start resenting the fact that you're out there, you're working, you're doing your deal, you're doing everything, but it seems like your lifestyle is so much better than theirs. And they start to build resentment. Not all of them. Good women don't do that. But they do generally start to build resentment. And that's where it can become toxic. We're supposed to be toxic males. Okay? So sometimes you can just be doing your job. And just because you just may say something off the cuff that really gets in their crosshairs, and you got trouble ahead. And it happened in mine. Thank God we turned it around. We ended up divorced anyway. But so what I was saying is basically sometimes stay-at-home moms, they get to that point where they're at home raising kids. They got everything they want, and then all of a sudden your work life seems like it's so much greater than what they've got. Because all they're doing is talking to kids all day. Right? And you say one thing wrong, and shit gets toxic real quick. So we'll end on that.
The moral of the story is don't buy a fat broad a stove.
Or tell her she's fat. Tell her she looks good. Jesus Christ. Because every woman puts on some pounds. Now, there's a lot of them out there that hit the gym, and they don't allow that to happen. But some of them do. My wife used to have 3 rolls of fat on her back. She did.
Yeah.
And she told me one time, she's like, you kind of got a beer belly. And I was like, well, you got fucking a 6-pack on your back.
Oh, my God.
You know, so who needs to look in the mirror here? Mirror you.
You need 2 mirrors. One, you got to hold the mirror and look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like getting a haircut.
6-packs are cool, but they ain't cool on your back. Especially when your bra's cutting through all that other shit.
That'll be a bumper sticker.
Yeah. And then your tits roll off in your armpits when you lay down. Not good.
Some swag.
Yeah. Okay, so well, we kind of already covered this one a little bit.
Well, quick FYI, your kiddo went in the house, so if you're needing to know where he's at, he's in the house.
He's a roamer.
I'm just letting you know he's here.
Yeah, he's fine. So the next point on that is that you need to know when that bumpy road starts happening, okay? When shit gets bad, when when they start shit with you and get aggressive and physical, it's
evaluate if it's an anomaly or is it going to get worse.
But you need to have a plan after that.
Because that's their plan. Their plan is to escalate it.
Yeah.
So you got to have a plan to either de-escalate it or get the hell out, or buy time until you get the hell out, or do some damage control. But sometimes it's part of their strategy. Because Mark's telling everybody you got to have a plan. Well, that's their plan. So is it just a coincidence, or is it the plan? So I don't know which it is, but we're pointing out,
because you didn't have to go through it.
Exactly, but I've been a casual observer of these things, and sometimes it's just a weird bump in the road, and sometimes it's the beginning of the end. Well, you don't want to find out it's the beginning of the end
when it's too late.
At the end.
Yeah.
And you go, you know what? Now it all makes sense to me.
Well, that's the perfect example of the men's club. Okay. That's why I want to develop think tanks to where anybody out there that's going that maybe start, or they see it coming, or they're going through it, or they're in it. I want to develop think tanks in the men's club to where there could be 100 of you that could or would or maybe should, maybe blah, 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 blah.
Because if you heard 100 of these, and they're out there, hell, I've heard 50 of these from people I've known in my life that your jaw just hits the floor like, this can't be a real story. Oh yeah, it happened to me, every last bit of it. And even worse, I forgot half of it. It freaks me out how much nonsense and crazy shit goes on. And then we ain't even talked about this yet. You got mental illness and bipolar and chemical imbalances. So just because your I don't want to say wife, your girlfriend, whatever, your partner is acting weird, are they acting weird because they're having a bad day or a bad week?
Or do they have a plan?
Or do they have a plan? Or is it their chemical imbalance gets better, but then it shoots off the rail next month? But, which time does the pendulum swing out of the safe zone, and now you got full-blown psycho?
Okay, well, here's the thing. When it happened to me, it was happening to every guy that I knew that our kids were the same age.
See, and then you got trends like that you got to
well, they're all sitting around at home with nothing else to do but go, oh man, I don't think our marriage is working out that great, so I need to fuck shit up to where I'm okay.
To be the victim.
I can still be at home with the kids, and I got enough money to.
Yeah, this victim shit going on in the world today and my brother pointed out this victim shit like 20 years ago. He said, it's amazing how, everybody wants to be a victim. Like, what do you mean everybody wants to be a victim? Well, over the years when I've looked at this, and he's passed away years ago, he was born in 1948. So he was a baby boomer to beat the band. My dad just got back from World War II and decided sex was better than a foxhole in France and the Philippines. He wound up in both. But anyway, so
sex is better than anything in a foxhole.
Yeah. And you got warm food and, a roof. But But anyway, my brother, he was wise, man. He was definitely wise beyond his. He was actually at Kent State when everybody got shot up over there. He was
Really?
a student there. He wasn't just a student; he was there. That's a whole nother podcast I'll tell you about. We'll get so much hate mail out of that one. But he pretty much said everybody deserved to get shot. But
Shout out Rick.
I'll tell you why. But no, my brother pointed out that he was the first one that turned me on to the victim thing. That it gives people, like, there was comfort in that. It was almost like that was their club. Like, we're trying to start the men's club. They got like the victim club. Well, I can't have a job because I'm,
Stay-at-home mom.
No, just he doesn't understand me. And yeah, I had a job, but the reason they got fired was because they didn't work. But when they got home, it was, well, my boss didn't like me. And, it's never, I got issues, I need help, or, I'm frustrated and here's why. I mean, nobody puts their cards on the table. Everybody's always got a ulterior motive, and they keep the smoke screen going. And, when you really, really get down to the bottom of what the hell's going on, it's just like, well, you think life's easy? No, nobody said life was easy. Nobody said life was fair. But carve your own niche, cover your own ass. But that's what's beautiful. If you've got a great family, a working family, you circle the wagons, and it's your family against the world, there's nothing more beautiful.
No,
but if you circle the wagons and, your family's undermining you or something, it's almost like you got a spy. It's like you're an army with a spy in it, It's got to be you against the world. It can't be me against the world and my family, and it's just, you're overwhelmed.
So, and that was something that was said between me and my, I'm not even going to call him a stepdad because he's talked so much stupid bullshit, but my mom's husband, her fourth husband, he was like, yeah, she just wanted out because you were so verbally abusive. And it's like, no, I wasn't verbally abusive. I just told the fucking truth. And people can't handle the truth. Yeah, you can't break. You can't break all this shit and keep going.
See, people that want to play games, they can justify, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's her take. It's almost like talking to a lawyer. Well, okay, I understand okay, now
here's on what side of the
here's
lawyer.
what you say. Well, yeah, I'm talking like her standpoint of the lawyer. Okay, let me digest everything. Your best move is to say this. Whether it's the truth or not, it's just your best move, because it's like a chess game. Because if you say this, he's going to say that. And then when he says that, we're going to say this. And then, see, it's always just
you just
react.
You're just contradicting everything that anything said.
It's not just throw the cards on the table, see where the fucking bullshit is, and we either fix it or we just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, well, towards the end, I was begging not to save my marriage. I wasn't begging to save my marriage. I was begging counseling to make it better on the kids. You know what I mean? Like, why am I the asshole?
So you were trying to do damage control out the door, but not not damage control for for your family.
Right, but to them, it's just because I'm the man, it's automatically my fault. It's not that. No. Let's get a third party in here. Let's get a third party that is non-biased, and if I'm wrong, I'll fucking fix it. But they don't want to do that. They want to be right through their sisters, their girlfriends, their all of that.
Well, but also, you don't need some woke puke telling you that you're wrong. Well, why am I wrong? Well, because society decided that, and then they come up with this. I love when these fuckers say, well, you want to be on the right side of history. I don't want to be on the right side of your frickin' warped ass history. I want to be on the right side of right.
Right.
I want to be on the right side of God. I want to be on the right side of sanity. I don't want to be on the right side of history, because history changes all the damn time. The winner writes the history. You know? Hell, they're changing books now. You know? The history of Huckleberry Finn. Well, hell, Huckleberry Finn don't even say what Huckleberry Finn used to say. They change history. I don't care what the rules are. I just want to know what the rules are. And when they keep changing the rules, let go of the rope. Boom.
Yeah.
Let them fall on their ass.
Yeah. Point of the day. Let go of the rope.
Let go of the rope.
Let them, yeah.
Let them fall on their ass.
Yeah, because that's what's happening right now in my situation. So, because I was always the hero. I was a zero there for a little bit, and now all of a sudden it's he's fucking serious. Like, he's not coming back for any more bullshit. And I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. Fuck you. I took enough. I've brought more to the fucking table than I've taken. I can guarantee you. You know what?
You're letting go of the rope.
Man, and I'm telling you right now, my dad was in this situation, and I know now. Dad, if you're up there listening right now, everything that he said, word for word. And I used to give him shit about it. I was like, man, nah, you're playing the victim. He's like, no, I'm not, man. Wait till it happens to you. And I'm telling you, most real men, we don't start shit. We finish it. I don't start shit with anybody. I don't start fights. I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. I don't want any of that shit. But when you come poking me and you poke me enough, you're going to get the fucking bear. And I'm telling you, and that's what I'm saying. Walter! Okay? The best advice that you could have been given to you know who, and you know exactly who I'm talking about, you could have told him, you don't know who the fuck you're dealing with, because I don't quit. I don't quit when I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'll take it square on the motherfucking chin. I have no problem with that. And I have no problem with another man or woman or anybody coming to me and saying, you know what, Mark, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong. And I want to let you know why you're, you know.
Well, that's the big thing. If you're going to tell somebody they're wrong,
I respect you.
No, have an explanation.
But I respect that.
But just don't tell somebody you're wrong and expect them to go, oh, okay. Tell them why they're wrong. Explain why they're wrong.
No, I'm telling you all the time, with employees, with our management, all the people within the company that we had, when people came at me and were like, Mark, man, you're wrong on this. We're the ones that are dealing with it, not you. Okay? You're not dealing with this. We are.
Yeah, from your office, you're right. But out here,
you're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. And this is why you're wrong. And I'm not saying it to be a fucking dick to say you're wrong just because I'm standing up to my boss. Anytime somebody stepped up to me and said, hey, you're wrong. Could be my dad, could have been Boom, could have been Flash, could have been Dale, could have been Brick, could have been any of those guys. Your decision making is fucking up my program. And this is why. I sat down and was like, please enlighten me. Because without you, this show don't go. This show don't go without me either. But without you, this show don't go. And I respect you enough to listen to you. And I want you to tell me what we can do to fix it. And if it sounds good enough that's not going to just fucking derail our whole program just because you want to do something that's fucking outlandish, we'll talk about that. But no, there's nothing but respect for somebody that says, look, you're wrong. And this is why you're wrong. And I'm telling you because I love you. It's not because I'm wanting to dig a fucking grave.
But that point now, explaining why somebody's wrong, because that's what's wrong with politics today. Like you're wrong, and then when you try to, well, that's just a talking point. You just get minimized.
We got fact checkers.
Yeah, it's a fact checker.
Yeah,
that's a talking point.
No, it's a tinfoil conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's been debunked.
No, it hadn't.
Yeah, exactly. So anybody who uses all of that like to just shut you down with a blanket shut up statement, you shut up or explain what the fuck you're talking about. Other than that, go pound sand.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. If you come at me,
have some facts.
No, that's what
I mean.
A real situation. You come in my office and you say, "Hey, Mark, we're fucking up in this area, and here's why. I know that this doesn't pertain to what you do day to day, but this pertains to what I do day to day."
And I watch it whip other people's asses that ain't got the balls to come in here and tell you.
That's right.
And it's costing you money.
That's right. Flash. Rest in peace, my brother. That's where structure was developed. Let me tell you a story about Flash. And where structure in business, and structure is my middle name.
We laughed about this for many years. He's structure.
Okay. Flash is a guy that I hired. Okay. Boom, of all people, the guy that always walked on water, blew a hole in the side of our silo. We're talking fucking half-inch fucking steel. Okay, blew a hole in the side of our silo. It needed to be fixed.
With what?
Because he thought that he was going to filter some hose because our dust collector was...
like an electrical thing or a shotgun?
No. Okay, so...
Pressure?
No, so when those cement tankers that have the 3 boobs on the bottom...
Yeah.
So each one of those pods, it's underneath, even though it might just be 5 PSI on that truck, it's fucking 300 PSI inside that silo. If your dust collector is clogged up, or if it doesn't have a place to exhaust, because they're blowing some heavy ass powder. Even though that powder should be light, it's fucking heavy. Okay? So they're pumping it into the silo, so it's got to have a release. Okay? Where our dust collector was fucked up.
All right.
So what he did was he stuffed a sock inside of this relief hose that was connected to the dust collector. And it built so much pressure inside of our silo because he thought, man, I don't want the fucking neighbors complaining this, that, and the other, or dust or this, so I'm just going to filter the fuck out of it. Well, filtering the fuck out of it meant boom! Yeah, overpressure of the silo.
The filter got clogged, and then it turned into a
it's like trying to blow
plate.
It's like trying to blow air into a fucking Coke bottle that's empty. Sooner or later, your ears are going to pop or the fucking bottle's going to pop. One of the two. Okay, so it happened, and my batch man, he said, look, I've got a guy, he's a little rough around the edges, but he can fix this shit. He showed up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, cut a big hole, replaced all the steel, welded it back up, and I was like, and everybody was like, we need to hire this motherfucker. Like, he saved my ass. Okay, because we had close to, I don't know, $100,000 worth of concrete to pour the next day. I mean, this was big. It was right in the middle of the rocket ship rise where we're getting the customers that we really wanted. Okay, so he fixes it, and I'm like, dude. He's like, hey, man, I'd really like to come to work around here. Some of the guys that are here, I know them, this, that, and the other. I'd like to come. I was like, dude, you don't even have to ask. You're fucking hired. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning. He was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm a good judge of character. Okay. So you're on the team. You just fucking saved all of our asses. He's like, and I'm walking off. He said, hey. Are you sure you don't want to check my background? And I'm like, what? He's like, well, I do have kind of a past. And I was like, dude, if you can do that, I can overlook whatever happened in the past. I need a guy like you. Here, tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, walk off again. You sure you don't want to check my background? I turn around, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck have you done?
What, you got active warrants, man?
Yeah, like what the fuck have you done? And he's like, well, I've been convicted of murder twice. And I'm like, fuck. Okay. All ears now. He said, well, the first time, he said, I got into a bad dope deal, which, flash, okay, he was a millionaire by the time he was 25. His brothers and sisters and his family owns all the Dairy Queens in Oklahoma, okay? They're a very wealthy family.
A lot of those.
They're a very wealthy family, okay? His brothers and sisters are all doctors, lawyers, architects. They're smart people, okay? So I was like, what the fuck? He was like, well, I started out as an underwater welder, made a lot of money, got hooked on meth, started dealing meth, got in that world of money, women, drugs, all that, okay? He said, well, I got into a bad drug deal, and this guy pulled out a 25, which is a 22. You know what I mean? It shoots 22 bullets, but it's a 25 or a 22, whatever they want to call it.
It's a 22 on steroids at best.
Right. So he's like, man, this guy shot me 7 times in the chest. And he rips off his shirt at the same time, like, shot me here, here, here. And I'm like, fuck, and it missed your heart? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I got tired of being shot, so I pulled out my .357 and shot that motherfucker 1 time between the eyes. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And he was like, yeah, I thought you'd want to know that. And I was like, yeah. He's like, so I went to he's like, thank God, it got reduced to self-defense, but there was drugs involved, so I had to go to prison, blah, 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 blah. Gets out of prison, gets back in the dope game again. Gets in another bad dope deal. He's like, this guy was reaching for something. I didn't know what it was, so I just pulled out my fucking gun. He said, I wasn't getting shot this time. I shot that motherfucker right between the eyes. I was like, Jesus Christ. He's like, but I'm good now. I'm good.
I'm over it. I got it out of my system.
Yeah. I've killed 2 people and I'm on my way back. And I'm like, fuck.
It's like third's a charm.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so we're good now? He's like, yeah. Okay, so real quick before I go into this ended up being one. He was such a madman. Okay, he was one of the biggest dope dealers in Hood County. Okay, or around and managing the biggest dope dealers in Hood County. Okay, so. It's like, fuck, man.
But you didn't know that at the time.
No. But he was on parole when he came to work for me. And he was like, man, I appreciate the opportunity, and I promise, just let me prove myself, and I will prove myself to you that I'm worth the investment. And I was like, all right. Again, when a man steps up to you like that and tells you that kind of fucking story and it has no reservations at all, I was like, okay, let's talk about this later on.
Yeah, he put his cards on the table.
You sure you want to hire me? Are you sure? With my record, I'm letting you know. But he ended up being one of my biggest projects that I ever had. Not, I don't want to use him as a project, but I'm just saying.
Challenges?
He was one of the most successful parolees that they expected to fail. Okay? They were waiting on him to fail. And he never failed. Okay? But he was smart. This guy.
So he was done with the dope and everything by the time he went to work for you?
I kept him clean for 9 years. For 9 years. Nice. He was perfect. Because we had a relationship with the parole board and the parole office of guys getting out of prison that got their CDL in prison that just were looking for a second chance. Because when you hire a convicted felon back then it was $7,000 a year per employee that you hired that was a convicted felon. So it's a tax credit. So that's you're doing society good by putting these guys to work and giving them a second chance, because most people wouldn't hire them.
Yeah, and their recidivism rate goes way down. And
so but the thing was, no sexual predators, no rapists, no fucking thieves, no sickos like child molesters and all that kind of shit. We had our if you're in that category, no. Drugs, DWIs, assault. Now, assault, we'd look at that because you don't want a fucking maniac.
Yeah, he's got 12 freaking...
Yeah, you don't want some guy that's just going to come in and...
But a one-shot wonder that,
Yeah, just got caught in a bar and whooped somebody's ass that needed his ass whooped, and he got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep.
Okay? So here we are. We're on. This is when the rocket ship's taking off. Okay? So I'd have meetings, and I would tell everybody, look, because we're growing so fast. I was like, look, this we got to change this, we got to change that, we got to change this. This is the new rules. This blah 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 blah. And he pulled me aside one day, and he said, Mark, he said, you give the best speeches, the best rah-rah meetings, you give all that. He said, but let me tell you something, and this is coming from a guy that 9 times out of 10, nobody would listen to. Okay? He said, you're great. He said, but you fuck it up every time at the end. All and right. I'm sitting there making millions of dollars like, who the fuck are you 33 or 34. Who the fuck are you telling me that I'm doing something wrong and I'm fucking anything up? Like, I'm running this motherfucker. He said, you fuck it up every time, and I want to talk to you about it. He said, let me buy you a hamburger. And I said, no, let me buy you a hamburger. Let's go talk. So we go talk. He said, look, man. He said, use me as an example. He said, let me tell you something. You fuck it up every time saying you don't want to run a prison or a daycare. He said, let me tell you something. 70% of the people that you got working here, we're all convicted felons. We don't know how to live. We need rules. We need structure. We don't follow the rules. We break rules. Like, we need to be put in between two lines. Okay? He said, but use me as an example. Take money out of my check. Just give it back to me when it's done. But use me as your battling ram, because he was our Red. Like, if you've ever seen Shawshank Redemption, Red.
Yeah.
He ran our fucking yard like a prison yard. Okay? Flash ended up being. This is how smart he was. Okay? So he's like, look, dude. He said, you need to turn the volume up to 10 and enforce what you say that you're going to enforce. Because if you don't, you got mayhem on your hands. So we turned it up to 10. And all of a sudden, everybody got in line. Then we went to 12, 15, 20, and everybody stayed in line. Productivity went up. Professionalism went up. Everything went up. Okay? Well, and then after it was done, I was like, dude. Me and him became super fucking tight, but he really looked up to me because I respected him. Everybody else looked down on him like he was just a fucking criminal that didn't deserve anything, right? I looked at him as a man that I knew that he meant business, and he meant business. He ran my yard for me like a prison.
Yeah, the place would have been different without him.
Oh.
And not in a good way.
No. Because he was like, look, I'm the law out here.
You kind of almost caught magic in a bottle.
Oh, I did. Lightning in a bottle. Okay? But the beauty about Flash is he came into my office one day and he said, look. He said, because he asked me, he said, can I go talk to your attorney? I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, I got all these guys asking me for money all the time, wanting to borrow money off of me. And because he was smart. He knew how to manage his money. He said, here's what I want to do. He said, I want to get a power of attorney. I'll loan these guys money. but I'm collecting 25%, 25 cents on the dollar. So I want power of attorney for all these guys that are borrowing money off of me. I get to pick up their checks, and I get to cash them, and I'll give them what they're owed less what they owe me. Every Tuesday, he came in with his list. He collected the checks, went down to the gas station, cashed them, came back, gave them all their money. Okay? Then, so Tuesday was payday. Thursday, they're all lined up to borrow more money. He had a system going on.
The most men are there again.
Oh, yeah.
He rode roughshod over the most men. Just
Hey, man, it is what it is. You got to have a side hustle in prison. These guys were willing to borrow money. Banks charge interest. Flash charges interest. But it's 25 fucking percent every week. But it was controlled chaos. Okay? So, towards the end, this is right before I sold the company, he came to me. And I remember his parole officer calling me and was like, because like I said, we had a relationship. We had an ongoing indoor, outdoor, and they would always let us know when whatever people that we had hired, they're like, these guys are getting back in the dope game, and we know they're in the dope game, so you might want to drug test.
They're failing piss tests.
Yeah, you might want to drug test these guys. Okay, so he came to me, and I've never seen him more rattled in his life, and he's like, Mark, I've never not lived on parole. And I'm like, dude, we got you there. We're at the home stretch. He's like, but you don't understand. No, that whole institutionalized and institutionalization of people is real. He was scared to death because all he had was me after that. And I'm telling you, I went out of my way to make sure that he was always taken care of because he took care of me.
So he got off parole and he was freaking out about it?
He was freaking out about it, and his parole officer called me and said, man, we've never seen this guy fly so straight. You did a great job. And I was like, fuck, it made me feel good. And I sold the company. And I remember him calling me after I sold the company, and he was like, man, is there anything that I can do for you just to stay around you? Because I need you in my life. And I was like, man, I'm on my way. I'm going a different direction. And that's when we ended up starting the other company down south, because I used to run an offshore charter service and have a house at the coast, and I was down there so much that and the market needed another concrete company down there, and we were going to start one down there. And all these guys were looking forward to moving down to the coast. And I sold the company before them, but I still had the land, and I still had the permits, and I still had all of it. Okay. And
you were outside of any non-compete and all of that because
yeah,
you were so far.
Yeah, I could have done. I was like, well, okay, guys, I'll do it, but I'm not going to be the guy that's driving back and forth. Y'all are moving down there. I'll run it from up here. But if I go down there, I'm going down there to relax. I'm not going down there to work. Y'all are going to go down there, and y'all are going to run it. So we did. Okay. Well, he got down there unsupervised and got back involved in dope. And he got caught with the littlest amount. Little bitty. And it was a woman. It was a woman that she was in love with him, and he was like, look, you're a piece of ass, you know. And he left her house, and she called the cops on him, and he got busted. He ended up dying in prison, and I spent thousands of dollars. He ended up getting cancer. And he had cancer when he was working down south. I knew it.
So he just Didn't look good.
Well, no, he would get these headaches, and he would get this fucking. He was
So
just
what kind of cancer? Like brain tumor type shit, or
no. It was
how old was he?
almost 60,
Oh, okay.
but he had this hernia.
60 at the time, you mean?
Yeah.
Back then.
No, 60 when he died. He was probably 57 when he got convicted. But he had this hernia underneath his nuts, and you'd see him out there working his ass off, and all of a sudden he'd bend over and spread his legs, and he'd push this hernia back on. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, dude. No, this guy was tough, dude. He was tough. And he was dedicated. And
so he was quite a bit older than you.
yeah.
That's kind of some context that helps, because I've heard of Flash, I've heard, bits and pieces of this story and that, but yeah, I didn't realize he was that much older than you. For some reason, I was picturing kind of a younger tweaker kind of guy.
No. He was my dad's age, or in that.
All right.
Yeah, my dad outlived him, but what I'm getting at is
he'd been around the block.
Yeah. And we almost got him off, but he ended up dying in prison of cancer. And he used to call me every day, 5-10 times a day. Just don't let me die in prison. Just don't let me die here. Don't let me die here. And it was 2 weeks to the day. 2 weeks to the day that I was going to get him out. I negotiated a deal to where he could die at home.
He beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
Yep, the Flash.
Yep. So you know what I got?
Nickname that is Flash. Yeah, that you don't just get that one out of the blue.
Well, it's because he's speedy. He's speedy boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so he told his wife, because my whole smoking stance on my inside my trucks or my loader or any of my equipment is zero smoking tolerance. If I catch you smoking inside of one of my trucks, you're fired. And he was a cigarette smoker, of course. Meth guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he took pictures down in Victoria, brand new equipment. We had just gotten started down there. And I think he knew that he had something that he couldn't shake.
Yeah.
So because all of our trucks were brand new down there. All of our equipment was brand new because we had the money. You know what I mean? It was different from when we started the first time. And he took pictures in every single piece of equipment. Him sitting in the seat, smoking a cigarette, and flipping me off. And she had them all developed. He said, I want you to send this to Mark with my ashes. After he died, she sent me a video. And in his video, before he died, I hope I don't get choked up when I say this, but he sent a message to me thanking me for everything.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, he said, when I die,
roll me up and smoke me in your fucking truck.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got a little choked up.
Well, you should, man. I could tell that dude was a big player in your program.
He was a good guy, man. Good guy.
And he got derailed because he was breaking up with a gal. And she torpedoed him.
No, he's just fucking her. Just a crank whore.
And she just shit on his fucking program.
Mm-hmm.
You never know where it's going to come from, do you?
Mm-mm. And it was that's what he told me. He said, Mark, I've wiped more off my fucking coffee table than I got busted for.
So what, down south there, the sheriff or whatever, they just...
No, it's just third time you're fucked.
Controlled substance, all that shit. So they charged him with a felony, and it was like a 3-strike deal.
Yeah. But we spent, I think I spent close to $90,000 trying to get him out.
Damn.
I used to when I found out he had cancer, I used to load his fucking books up with money. I was like, dude, you get anything and everything you want.
He was probably down there running a loan shark deal in there.
Oh, he was. No, he had.
I gave him something to do too.
No, but well, he was in Huntsville. That's where they took him, is Huntsville.
Yeah, and I played golf down there across the street from that penitentiary. I met a guy he was from Houston. Where you want to meet up? Hey, let's play golf in Huntsville. It was so creepy, man. Looking at that penitentiary and everything over there, you always hear about Huntsville, and the death house and all that. And man, we're going to play golf, and I'm looking at that giant complex of prison, man, and it was so sad that place is just chock full of people that they're
barely deserve to be there.
Some damn sure needed to be in there, but a bunch of people just
fucked.
Yeah,
wrong place, the wrong time. I'm telling you, man. Out of our 100 employees, I'm telling you that 50% of the felons that we hired were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
You know what my biggest fear has always been to get wrongly convicted of something and thrown in prison.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I do something and I need to go to prison, all right, it would suck. I wouldn't be happy. Not that I wouldn't be happy. I'd be devastated. But so if I ever become wealthy or make some money, or if I get involved with something, like I know you're big on the veterans, you want to do shit for veterans, and I respect that. My dad's a veteran, my brother was a veteran, but I'd want to do something for just wrongly convicted people.
And I'm with you on that.
Because it's just
well, I'm sitting there right
so
now.
Wrong.
Well, I'm sitting there right now. I'm not going to jail, but I've been wrongly accused of something that I didn't do.
So you can understand.
I can understand the
concept.
I didn't even get a chance to tell my side of the story. And this is my daughter's boyfriend punched me in the face with a pair of brass knuckles. That's all I can say. I didn't do nothing to him. They went and lied, said I beat him up.
You're the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy. But I'm just saying, I spent 2 hours in jail for something that I didn't do. And it is the worst feeling ever. And here's what pisses me off the most, is that it's so egregious that I'm not going to get my day in court. It's just going to get dismissed.
See, and once you're in that system too, you're just trash, because so many of them people in there, they deserve what they're getting, they did royally stupid shit, and they deserve to be in there. But, and I understand you got to treat everybody the same, but if you didn't belong in there in the first place, it's just, man, that hurts. I'll tell you one. Here's a boxing one. You ever hear of Hurricane Carter? You know who this guy is?
No.
Watch the movie, and Bob Dylan wrote a song about Hurricane Carter.
Oh, yeah. No, I love that song.
It's a true story. Hurricane Carter was a badass boxer.
Yeah.
He was like a middleweight guy. He wasn't a heavyweight.
I love that song.
Well, he got convicted of shooting somebody with a shotgun in a bar, and he had like an alibi. He was somewhere totally he had a solid alibi, the whole bit. They convicted him of that, and he went to prison over it. They made a movie about it. Bob Dylan wrote a song about it, and then he did get out of prison eventually. He got exonerated. He did. And he moved to Canada. Boom, like that. He got the fuck out of the United States, and why wouldn't you? But when we're done with this podcast, we're going to play that damn song.
Mm-hmm. I love that song.
Yeah, but it's a true story, and that ought to put freaking stand the hair up on your head, because
every time I hear it does.
Did you know it was a true story, though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my whole point here is I mean, I guarantee there's a whole lot of people in there screaming they're innocent and this, that, and the other and all that. But man, my buddy Dak, his wife, this is about 20 years ago, I went over their house and we're sitting there partying, drinking beer, and just having a good old time. His wife wasn't there all day. Well, she comes in and she's just like, oh my God, I'm just so spent. Well, what's up? She spent like 2 days in a prison, like doing a Christian ministry thing.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy doesn't even tell me this, It's like, well, where's your wife? She ain't here. She's in a prison. So she even spent the night. It was like a Friday, Saturday, Friday night. So she shows up Saturday late in the day. And she goes, I am just so mentally roached. I'm spent. I mean, just hearing everybody's story and, just praying together and spilling their guts and man, hell, I'm getting choked up just remembering this from 20 years ago. Here's something I didn't know. Do you know like 2/3 of Texas prisons don't have air conditioning?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until she told me that one. Oh, yeah, they got fans. They raise money to buy somebody a fan. Well, I do AC work. So...
Well, they had a conversation about that on WBAP this morning.
Well, all you do is blow hot air on your ass. A fan don't do shit. It just doesn't.
No, it circulates
when it's
hot
hotter
air.
than fuck. But I just did see something that the Texas House passed some bill for like $500 million to put air conditioners in, which of course they'll pay 3 times more than what it should really cost. But when you do work for the government, everything costs 1 trillion times more because that the government overspends for everything because that's how they do shit. But, man, you can't lock somebody up in frickin' Huntsville or somewhere in the middle of Texas with no frickin' air conditioning. I mean, come on. Maybe you ain't got air conditioning the whole damn thing down to fucking 68 degrees, but turn it from 105 to 90, get the humidity out.
Well, no, when I went in,
I do air conditioning work. I know what I'm talking about. If you want to consult with me how to not whip somebody's ass, you know what? Maybe the prison system had quit getting sued and having to pay millions of dollars to people who die because they bake to death. Maybe you buy a couple air conditioners.
Yeah, no, I truly believe because of what happened to me. And mine's nothing. I mean, mine's.
But I mean, you got a taste of it.
Yeah. Well, no, here's the thing: is when you haven't done something, when you haven't done it, and you get this,
and you're thrown on the pile.
By my whole that's the whole point of my family, of what I've been saying about my family, is that just because my daughter and the boyfriend are saying it's got to be true. My whole family was standing out here the night that it fucking happened.
Got to be true because I seen it on TV. Old John Fogerty, shout out.
No, they never even called me and let me tell my side of the story. I had a warrant for my arrest for 9 fucking months. And the investigator that called me, he's like, this is so fucked up, but I have to let you know. But here's the thing that I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Whenever it's over, I'll tell everybody.
Yeah, I don't. Well, hell, we're scatter shooting here anyway, so let's.
But what I'm getting at is that a lot of the guys that came to work for me, hit your camera. Man, a lot of them were such good guys, man. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time. They just fucked up, and they were just with the wrong fucking crowd. You know what I mean? And it's to destroy somebody's life over that. There's got to be a party out there. I mean, because it's these prosecutors. That's their job, is to find a reason. It's like Eddie Gallagher, that Navy SEAL that got, you know what I'm talking about? That Navy SEAL that was on trial for blocking this it was Afghanistan. He's a Navy SEAL, and all he did was he put his finger on this kid's neck to stop him from bleeding to death, to where they could try to You know what I mean? Like it cut one of the main arteries, and he was just applying pressure to see if they could save him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's fucking locked up and accused of murder and all these war crimes and all this shit. And the Navy SEALs were gonna fucking
Oh yeah, the rest of his platoon threw him under the bus and all that.
yeah,
kind of
2 or
shit.
3 other guys. But the thing
Yeah,
was
okay.
was that the Navy SEALs didn't want a stain on their record, so they were gonna just fucking let it happen.
Yeah,
And he beat it.
Yeah, that was what 3-4 years ago or 5.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but
Yeah,
sadly, there's too many of those.
yeah.
There's a bunch of that.
He's trying to save the kid's fucking life. He gets accused of fucking war crimes and all this bullshit when he's over there saving our ass from people blowing up our fucking buildings and shit.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, man. If you do stupid shit, you belong where the fuck you go. But if you didn't do nothing stupid, I got your back. You know, right is right and wrong is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The left always talks about, do what's right and reasonable and common sense.
Nobody's above the law.
Nobody,
Trump's not above the law, but we are. We're above the law.
Well, I agree in prison reform and the fact that people who don't belong in there don't need to be in there, but people who belong in there need to be in there.
Okay,
Where
well, keep talking, because for once, I have to take a piss.
See, he's getting old. See, he got old from the time this started till now. Well, I guess we get a little version of Timmy time here just by default. But man, you got to have convictions about things. I mean, what do you really believe in? I mean, if you go along to get along, what the hell is that? That means if you're hanging out with a bunch of dumbasses that are wrong, you're just another dumbass that's wrong. Listen to your own brain. Listen to, observe the evidence. You got experiences in these things. And, when you get a certain age, you know what's crap and what's not crap. And don't bullshit yourself. That's a big one right there. I mean, you got to know when your radar's going up, your spider sense there, It's like, man, crap is crap, right is right, wrong is wrong. And it's like everybody's a lawyer. Here's one for you. Anytime you're watching a cop show or something, and somebody goes, I know my rights, I just bust out laughing. 99 times out of 100, when somebody says, I know my rights, A, they don't know their rights, and B, they're about to do something really stupid. And, you're on the side of the road and you're going to announce to some cop, you're pulled over, you're drunk, you got 2 flat tires, the blinkers on the right side of your car don't work. And the cop says, step out of your car. And you go, I know my rights. I mean, it's so pathetic. I mean, it's like, man, are you really going to play that card? I mean, come on. So somehow I got over it and getting pulled over.
No, I heard everything you were saying out there.
But it's all true.
I've got one for you.
Well, it's my turn here, but I can hear everything you're saying.
Huh?
Take over. My turn.
Okay. Yeah, this motherfucker's definitely old. But at any rate, yeah, no, so what he was talking about, I heard him outside. Checking my phone real quick. I'm going to wait for him to get back to tell this one, because this one's properly fucked up. Yeah, just our legal system needs to be looked at. It just really does. Met a lot of people that are just they're just victims of circumstance, and there's no sympathy for them. And to have your life derailed over something simple, that you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time is just put yourself in their shoes. How would you like to be sitting in fucking jail over something that you didn't do, or you're a first-time guy that just was having some issues? Because that's 9 of the 10 guys that we hired. You know, they were in situations where they were going through women problems. They were going through some kind of issue in their life to where they just kind of took a wrong turn where they should have turned right. And you end up in prison, and then your whole life is fucked. Because it's a fact, man. These people do not hire felons, and they don't even listen to what they're thinking. So I've got a story for you along what you just said about.
All right, come on.
Be thrown in jail for. Okay, so I'm on the way home from the bar one night. This is back when I was 22, 23. Yeah, because I just met my dad. And I was on the way home from the bar, and it was one of those nights. There were plenty other nights where you could have given me a DWI. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like one-eyed driving down the road. And
begging to get home.
Yeah. And so I'm driving down the road, and I'm doing just fine. Because actually I went to see a girl. It wasn't like a bar night. You know what I mean? It wasn't a bar night with the boys and we go out and get all fucked up and do stupid shit, all that. I was definitely drinking, don't get me wrong, and I was buzzed. But and I was the fourth guy that this had happened to. So I'm driving down, you know where 20 and 30 merge right here coming into Aledo?
Sure.
Okay, I was coming 20 on the 20 side. And it's dark on that side. There is no lights, there is no nothing.
Yeah, it's weird how that does that. It goes over the top and comes back.
Yeah, so I was coming
over
crazy
ass intersection.
I was coming across the hill before the intersection, and all of a sudden I look up, and this guy just with no lights in a minivan just darts out in front of me, and I rear end him. Okay?
Yeah.
Put my fucking head, my hat was stuck like this in the windshield. I didn't have my seatbelt on.
So what, this guy was like taking a piss on the side of the road and just got
No,
back
he
on
was
with
waiting
nothing?
for somebody to pull out in front of so I could rear end him, and he collects insurance money. He collected $80,000 off my insurance company.
Yeah.
So he, with no lights, just pulls out in front of me. He was on the shoulder, pulls out in front of me, and I, bam, asshole him, right? I'm like, fuck. So I pull over. He pulled over. And I'm getting out to check to see if the guy's okay. You know, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Because you knew you popped the shit out of him.
Oh,
good.
dude, the whole front end of my truck was smashed in. And I start walking up to his van, and he fucking takes off. He takes off. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm out in the middle of nowhere. There's no lights. It's dark. I have no headlights at this point.
Fucking radiator fluid douching
Yeah,
out,
no,
man.
yeah. So I get in my truck, and I'm like, I just need to make it to this next exit, which is Ranch House Road.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm coasting. I'd already blown my engine at this point. Like, I blew my engine probably like a half a mile before the exit. Okay.
But the truck's totaled anyway, so what the hell?
Yeah, but there's a cop in the slow lane. There's a cop in the slow lane, and he sees me exiting, and he fucking whips over. Okay? And I'm like, fuck.
Well, if this guy's doing an insurance thing...
I'm the fourth guy that he's done it to. Now, I didn't know this until we went to court.
No, but why would he take off? Why wouldn't he stand there, stay there and go, you rear-ended me? I'm just asking. I mean,
I don't know. But what happened was somewhere.
Oh, he's going to claim a hit and run.
Exactly.
On you.
Yes.
Like you hit him and then you took off.
Exactly.
Fuckers.
So, because he did get out of his van and he picked up my license plate. And then he jumped in his van and took off. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck is going on here? Because when I assholed him, it ripped my license plate off. So he jumped out to see what the damage was. And I'm jumping out to see if he's okay. He grabs my license plate, gets in his van and takes off. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know? So I'm like, okay, I just got to make it to the next exit to where I can call I'm calling my dad at this point. And I'm telling you, dude, I'm exiting and there's a fucking cop in the slow. And I'm like, God fucking almighty.
What's he doing here?
Yeah, and I have no headlights. I'm driving like Ace Ventura out the fucking window. Okay.
But you know you're right.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck, man. So we pull into the gas station. He's like, what happened? I told him the story. He's like, have you been drinking? And I was like, and oh God,
the dreaded have you been drinking question.
Oh, I went out with this girl the night before, and she had a pack of wine coolers in the back of my truck, and they flew underneath the seat.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. He's like, got to arrest you, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, fuck, man.
I just had a couple wine coolers.
They were hers.
I know, but play the wine. Yeah, you're like, man, nobody gets drunk on wine coolers.
Most men, this is a most man moment. Do not let your girl fucking leave her alcohol in your fucking truck or car. I mean, good God.
But I would have used that to my advantage. I had a couple wine coolers because the cop always hears a couple beers. You got wine coolers. Oh, yeah.
No, I was fucked up. I was fucked up.
I just drink wine coolers.
I wasn't.
He wouldn't have known how to handle that.
Here's the thing. I wasn't as fucked up as I'd have normally been, but I was fucked up.
Too fucked up.
I was too fucked up.
There you go.
Okay.
So, there was a line and you were on the wrong side of it.
Yeah. And, I didn't quite pass the fucking DWI test or the walk or whatever they do. Sobriety.
Play the concussion card. I just hit this guy, man.
Well, goddamn, it's 20 years ago. I can't fucking change it now. 25 years ago. 20 years ago. Anyway, 22 years ago. But anyway, go to jail. Get out. Come to find out, I'm the fourth guy that this guy's done it to. And he did. He collected insurance on my insurance. Because it was a company truck. I had lettering on it and blah, 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 blah. Insurance pays it. So we go to court. Okay. And I don't know exactly where I was going with this. But I'm just saying, wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Because my dad was like, you don't sound that drunk. And I'm like, I've been drunker. Trust me. They could have got me any other night but tonight. So I ended up, thank God. But here was the problem. Here was the problem is that there were some gypsies that killed. They were driving down the wrong side of the road or the wrong highway, the wrong direction. And they went head on with these four cheerleaders and killed them. So this new judge was in town, and he had, after that, it was zero tolerance on DWIs.
He ain't playing that game.
No. So and I actually went to court in my company shirt, dressed, thinking, well, he might have a little bit of leniency on me because I'm a productive member of society, whatever, right? And that's my cigar box. Still is my cigar box. It ain't out of the frame yet. But anyway, he's like, so you own your own company, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, well, your fines are doubled. Went from $7,500 to $15,000. And thank God all I got was I had to do 3 or 4 weekends in jail, which sucked. Oh my God, it sucked. But thank God my probation officer was cool. He's like, so what do you do? I was like, I'm in the chimney and insulation business. That's right when I first got into the insulation game. And he was like, so here's what I'm going to do for you. Because I think this is bullshit. He said, we got 4 or 5 halfway houses or whatever. He's like, man, we're bleeding at the seams with, air conditioning bills, insulation, blah, blah, blah. So I traded doing insulation work for my probation. Got off fairly quick. But I'm just saying, this fucking dude just pulled out in front of me. So and I remember back then we always used to say, God, if we could start some service like a scooter service or some service to where you could just hop on a fucking scooter or something to where if you're too drunk to drive, somebody will take you home. Right?
You missed the boat.
Wow, by a mile.
We're stuck doing most, man. We could be Ubering.
Yeah,
in tall cotton over here.
Yeah, but
hey,
so
we're not stuck doing most, man. I'm just being a shithead.
No, but it just was one of those things where I was like, fuck, man. Of all the nights that I could have been pulled over for a DWI, this was the one. I wasn't that fucked up. I mean, I was enough fucked up to where, yeah, I'd been on a date. It wasn't a bar. It wasn't like a bar night. You know what I mean? Where shots and.
Well, in hindsight, if you'd have just pulled over to the side of the road, just go lay in the ditch, maybe get bit by some fire ants and just sober up a little bit, you'd have got away with that aspect of it.
You had my license plate.
No, I mean the DWI part.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you wouldn't have to talk to the cop. By the time they found you, I'd
have just been fire ant bitten.
What you should have done was go lay in the ditch, take the wine coolers out, open them, dump them out, and have the empties laying next to you and say, I rear-ended this guy, my whole truck's fucked up, so I drank some fucking wine coolers and went to sleep. But
that didn't happen.
That's a 60-year-old guy with a bunch of experience going,
that didn't happen.
How do you get out of this fucking mess?
Yeah, but no, thank God my probation officer was cool. And actually, I know the judge now that fucking laid the hammer.
The hanging judge?
Yeah, that laid the hammer on me.
Yeah.
He's a pretty cool guy. He's a pretty cool guy. So, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, that wrong way driving shit's bad. Bad. Fucking drunk assholes don't even know which way the fucking freeway is.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Here, this is one for you. Okay.
It happens too often.
Very often. Okay, so you're in the roofing business. I'll think of the name of the roofing company. They're a big roofing company here in town, or they used to be. We were pouring the John Deere dealership over off of 820 and either Meacham or Blue Mound in that area. I think is the next exit Meacham? I think it is.
Well, Blue Mound's off of 820. Meacham's off of 35.
Well, no, the one after Blue Mound on 820.
Mark IV Parkway.
Mark IV. Okay. So we're pouring that John Deere dealership at fucking 2:00 in the morning. We started at 1:32, something like that.
Yeah.
One of my concrete truck drivers is driving down 820 headed towards Mark IV. And there's some drunk driver driving, DK Haney. You know that roofing company?
I've heard of them, but no,
they were big back then. They were big. One of their guys was coming back from Kentucky or somewhere up north. You know what I mean? He was coming home in the middle of the night, going home. Let me get this right.
So your truck was going east and he was coming west on the wrong side?
No.
The other way around?
No, they were all going west. No, there was that titty bar.
You remember me?
Blue Mound.
Remember me and you met up to drink over there? They had the Ricky Bobby place.
Yeah.
And remember, I had my blue
That's-
Ford diesel, and the head gasket was blown or something, and it was smoking like a freaking chimney.
Mhm.
And me and you met up for some beers over there, and you're like, "Damn, dude, your truck's fucked up." I'm like, "Yeah, I know," but yeah, I know exactly
that titty
where-
bar before Ricky Bobby's.
Yeah, the Ricky Bobby wasn't a tit bar, but that tit bar's right there.
Right. So this guy got from the tit bar on that my driver was going eastbound, because that's east, yeah, northeast, and he got on the eastbound side driving west.
Yeah, he went up to the service road, and instead of taking a right, he went
on the ramp or whatever.
Yeah, he just went
Yeah.
dead nuts the wrong way.
Hauling fucking ass. He was doing like 100-something miles an hour.
Yeah, his wife's waiting on him. You got to get home.
Well, one of those DK Haney trucks. So my driver's driving. He sees this guy coming at him. Okay?
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck, dude, this dude's driving down the wrong fucking side of the road. So he moves over, and he said it wasn't 3 seconds later that they went fucking head on. And he saw nothing but a huge flash behind him. And it killed that DK Haney guy. But the drunk driver lived. Of course. Yeah, it was on the news. It was big news.
Well, no, your truck driver.
No, my truck driver didn't hit him. He moved out of the way.
Oh.
But the guy behind him, the DK Haney
shit,
guy,
okay.
the guy behind him, all of a sudden was like, shit, headlights, boom.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it killed the guy. Crazy shit, man. Nothing good happens behind 10:30 at night.
Well, midnight.
Yeah, but
Well, nothing good happens in public after midnight. All kinds of good shit can happen at your own house, or at your lake house, or on a party boat or something. You know, just you got to have a place of refuge and some scene control. But if you're out in public, you don't have scene control.
No.
Because the scene is
What the scene is.
the scene is, you know, a moving target. So
Yeah, crazy.
scene control. Most men out there, you gotta understand a place of refuge. You know, if you're drinking all day, here's one. If you're drinking beer all day, don't start doing some shots at 10, 11 o'clock at night. You know, hey, you know what, man? I'm not as drunk as I want to be. You're drunker than you think you are. So, you know, if you're at a hotel or at a party and you got a place to crash, drink some shots. Now wake up feeling like shit. You know, hey, it's America. We're allowed to do stupid shit. But don't be out in public and go, you know what? Free beer's another one. If you're ever offered free beer out in public, you may want to watch. Tone it down. Free beer will bite you in the ass. I can get you a parade full of people through here. Remember that time we had that free beer over at such and such? Remember that free keg party? Remember this? And a bunch of times there's stupid stories that come out of free beers, open bars, and the whole bit. Just because it's an open bar doesn't mean you can just go ape shit. Actually, it does mean you can go ape shit. But do you really want to go ape shit?
Have a plan.
Have a plan.
Have a plan.
Pace yourself with some structure.
Yep. Well,
I think we achieved some wisdom here tonight.
Yeah.
Heck, we got to listen to the old Hurricane Carter song.
let's do it.
And shout out to that movie. Go check it out, man. It was made back in the 70s, early, mid 70s. But damn it, I wish I could think of Carter's first name. I'm ashamed that I can't. Oh, and he became a advocate for getting people out of prison who were forcibly.
God damn it! What's the name of it?
Like Dwayne. Yeah. Anyway, we'll look it up. I mean, there'll be people screaming, but Anyway, he was a bad motor scooter, and he would have won the freaking championship.
What's like look at Mike Tyson, dude. Do you really think that guy raped that girl that knocked on his door in the middle of the night, wanting to give him some ass, and all of a sudden,
yeah, that's a day. Hey,
but Mike Tyson
talk
was
to most men about that. When a girl comes knocking at your door in the middle of the night, don't take the bait.
Don't take the bait. Yeah, because dude, back in those days, Mike Tyson, he was like, "Look, man, the women weren't enough."
You don't think
he wanted fucking circus animals in there?
You don't think Don King would have got him anything he wanted? Don King was bilking millions off of him. Don King was making a fortune because of his success. You don't think he would have done anything and everything to keep old Tyson happy?
Oh, yeah.
All Tyson had to do was say, hey, Don, hook me up.
Yeah.
They'd have been there.
Send the women in the giraffes. Back then, that's what Tyson said in one of his interviews. He's like, look, women weren't good enough. Jeez. I had all the women in the world. Not that Tyson wasn't what do they call those guys that fuck animals? Necrophiliacs or?
No, that's dead people.
Bestiality.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, he was like, back then, man. He was like, back then, the women weren't enough. He's like, I had so many women throw themselves at me that,
This is funny.
Dude, Tyson is a fucking legend, dude.
Yeah, we used to go watch
Look at him now. Have you followed what he's doing now?
I remember when he got the tattoo thing on his. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, Tyson is a fucking living legend now.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
He's hilarious.
No, he's a great.
He knows he was a train wreck. That's what's beautiful about him.
Well, that's what he said. He said I was always walking around with a pound of weed and 2 kilos of cocaine wherever I went. So if if shit happened, it should have happened. But what I'm getting at is that, dude, that guy. Shout out Mike Tyson. I love that guy, dude. I'm telling you, he's given some of the most inspirational speeches known to man since he's got his. He's sobered up. He does mushrooms now. He does mushrooms and he smokes a lot of weed, and he does a few little psychedelics here and there.
When I first watched him start to fight, way back, I mean, because I was a young man when he was in his prime, and I always used to laugh how his ankles looked like they were this big. It's like his calves would just go boom, but his ankles, it was like, damn, his foot's going to snap off. He doesn't even have a fucking ankle.
I know.
And he always wore those black shoes, jet black shoes.
Yeah.
Miniature ankle.
They didn't even look like they didn't even look like they were boxing boots. There was something fucked up that he came up with.
Fucking slippers that he fucking put shoe polish on.
Man, his fights were legalized assassins.
He'd knock people through the ropes.
I can't remember what fighter it was that he fought, but Joe Rogan said it the best. At the best. He was like, this was the closest fucking thing to murder on a live TV show. One of the fights that he got into, he knocked him out, but he hit him like 4 or 5 more times, and this dude was just like fucking.
He was probably hitting him so hard he couldn't fall.
He couldn't fall. No, he couldn't. That's the whole thing.
He kept him up.
He hit him with a right or a left hook, and everything was uppercut, and that's the whole thing. He was falling, and Tyson was just like, boom, 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 boom.
They would show like they're introduced, they would show the guy Tyson's about to fight, and Tyson would be all, they all do that squinty ass eyed, I'm a bad motherfucker. Then they'd show the other guy, he'd be over there like, oh my fucking God, man, I'm in the ring with this guy. But they're about to ring the bell.
Well, no, right, but when they were doing their you can get on YouTube and there's plenty of them where his eyes are just like he's stalking them. He's not making any facial expression. They're supposed to be locking eye contact, and these guys are not wanting to lock eye contact.
Yeah, the guy he's about to fight. They're going, man.
But his eyes.
What's my exit strategy other than on a stretcher?
Right, but his eyes are moving at the same. He's like, okay, you don't want to look me in the eye. I'm looking you in the eye. Each time you look away, boom, 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 boom.
It's funny. I picked up my phone not that I can even get service in here, and I was like, I gotta know Carter, and it's Reuben Hurricane Carter.
Mm-hmm.
That came to old Reuben.
Story of the hurricane.
Yeah, and
where they blamed a man.
Bob Dylan wrote that.
Yeah, no,
while he was in prison. I mean, he had already been convicted, and there was a big movement to get him out. And yeah, the New York cops fucked him. They did. They all lied. They all knew he didn't fucking shoot with a shotgun to boot. I mean, really?
Well, look at what they're doing to Trump. We're not going to get political right now because it would be real easy to. But I'm just saying, this you fucking assholes up in fucking Washington, D.C. need to get your shit together. Or y'all are going to...
That ain't getting political.
They're not coming to scalp us. They're not coming... Hey, they're not coming...
That's common sense.
They're not coming to scalp us. They're not coming to scalp us. They're coming to scalp them. The motherfuckers up there.
We're next.
Oh, we're byproduct, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Putin. Scalp them motherfuckers.
When good men do nothing, it's bullshit. And we're good men, and we gotta speak out and call horse shit when you see horse shit.
Yep.
I'm trying to knock that fucker off. That's the third time I hit it.
I know. We got to get that thing away from you. You wanted everybody to see it. Now they saw it, so we got to get it away from you.
Yeah, I'll spill my beer on it, and you'll really be pissed.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, we got to hear us our Hurricane Carter song. Watch that movie out there if you can, and donate to money to get people out of jail that don't belong in there. That don't mean to get murders and crazy bastards out. Get the people out that deserve to be out.
Let's start a foundation that does that. Let's start a foundation that does that.
There's a few of them, but one more is better.
Let's start one. Because I'm telling, I really do. I agree.
All right, hey, while we're on a roll here, I read the book The Thin Blue Line about Randall Dale Adams or Dale Randall Adams. He got convicted of shooting a cop at Hampton Road and I-30, just south of it on Fort Worth Avenue in Hampton. I go by there to go to the Kessler to see music. Shout out to the Kessler, great music venue. And he spent 10 or 15 years on death row in Huntsville, and he got out. And you know who the biggest witness was that put him in there? The guy that did it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And he was from Ohio. He got out of prison. He went back to Ohio like a shot and said, I will never set foot in Texas again. So Wade, the DA's name was Wade. Forget his first name. I know a lot of Wades, so they're all popping into my head. But he railroaded the fucker. Absolutely, he did.
Well, that's what their job is. But it doesn't even matter if you're right or wrong. Their job is to convict you.
And the two cops, there was a female and
that's
a male
wrong.
cop.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That is wrong.
Listen, there was a female and a male cop. They pulled these people over. The guy stole the car. Adams was a hitchhiker. He was a passenger in the car. He had some weed. They were smoked some weed. The female cop had bought a milkshake, so she didn't get out of the car because she was drinking a milkshake. The male cop goes up to go, hey, you didn't have your headlights on. Boom! Shoots him. Car takes off. So then the DA pumped through her head what she was. There were all these witnesses that said that the driver shot her. Anyway, that it was like none of the witnesses shit jived with what the cop saw. But the cop was drinking a milkshake in the frickin' car. Yeah. So everybody out there screaming for prison reform and cop reform and defund the police. I get where you're coming from, but you can't like do it like leaving Afghanistan where you just fuck everything up. There's a right way of doing it and a wrong way of doing it, and blowing the whole damn system up ain't the right way. But I'm going to get some innocent people out of jail before I die, because that's what I'm going to do.
Bingo.
All right.
All right.
Maybe I'll be one of them.
Who?
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Hey, let her rip, baby. All right. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. We love the comments. Cheers to our first hater.
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
That's right. Shout out, Rick. Okay. You can catch us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia, themostmen.com, info at themostmen.com. Soon to be Rumble. All right. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.